Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Drop Frames. It's Tuesday. We don't this is not normally our day, but there's a lot of shit happening. So we decided to do a show. Zeke?
Yeah, it's the end of the Thon.
That is true. It did end overnight on my
Congratulations,
my
though.
day off, as it were.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
People generally know my thoughts on subathons.
Right.
But that being said, I am thrilled that you were so successful in what you set out to do. That is awesome. And congratulations to it.
Thank you. It was I was telling Zeke because he joined the call while you're still live, and I haven't had time to like process it. I've been up for maybe 2 hours now. I woke up at like 4 a.m. I randomly woke up in the middle of the night. I was like, I'm gonna check my phone. I looked at the phone and it had like a minute left, which has happened before, and it's like, I'm gonna stick around for like maybe 5 minutes. And then like 3 minutes later it ended. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back to sleep now. And then I just slept till I think 11 or so, which is the most I've slept in. So it was good. I'm free, but I'm streaming again, so not really. It's the same thing. And I'll be streaming again tomorrow. And I'll be streaming again
World of
Thursday.
Warcraft, right? It's World of Warcraft.
Yes.
Now that the Thon is over, you can start the real end game.
Yeah. You know what a reverse subathon is? Have you heard of these?
I do.
Yeah, it's where you take the time from your subathon and you put that up, and then instead of adding to the timer, it removes time.
Oh my god!
And I didn't realize that's where they were.
I
I didn't realize that was like the meta of. I'm not doing that shit. That's a nightmare.
That has the potential to be like way longer than your subathon.
Well, no, because it would be the exact time that it would be 20 days, like 400 hours and change or whatever, unless no one subbed. Right, because the timer would take away from it instead of adding to that. Or subs would take away from the timer instead of adding to the timer.
Oh, I was thinking the reverse subathon would be you'd have the amount of subs and you'd have to like
go down to zero. No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, that could be a fucking long time.
Guys, come join the stream. We're gonna kill my career.
Yeah, exactly. The hype is a little different because you don't extend the time, you take it off. So people are like, nah, don't sub. Don't worry about it.
Oh man.
Go.
We're
on day 763 of the opposite the subathon, the busathon.
Yeah. There is a subathon. I don't know what the dog's barking at. There is a subathon I think's been going for 584 days or something, like live today even. One second. I gotta see what the dog's barking at.
What does it add, like an hour per sub or something?
Alex, what are you barking at?
Yeah, it would depend on how many like minutes per sub it would be.
Yeah.
Because I remember I did one for a charity thing. It wasn't a subathon, but it was like, I remember I did one for St. Jude years ago where it was, it started out and the price would go up, so I wouldn't be there forever. So it was like $1 per minute. Then it was $5 a minute, and then $10 a minute, and so on and so forth. But and it was all just raising money for St. Jude. I was playing Boshi the whole time.
Yeah.
It ended up being like, I don't know, 10 hours and change, but it was like $9,000 like that day. Like people just love punishing. Like
yeah.
Other people. It's that Schadenfreude shit.
That is true. That is true indeed. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's all over.
What was the dog barking at?
I don't know. So nothing moved in that room. He
things.
He just found a thing and was like, I don't like that. I'm gonna bark at it for a while. now he's hiding under my desk, doing God knows what. Aaron's in Tokyo right now, Zeke. So that's why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Her tweets have been epic.
Oh.
What?
Mom's gone. I know that feel, dude.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, the morning. They're just the. Oh, where's Mom? She's dead. And they wander around like maybe she's in the living room now. And they wander back. She's not.
That's exactly how he is. Yeah. He's going to daycare tomorrow though, so he'll get his exercise. He's been cooped up inside the house. Anyways, Thon's over. I'll talk about it later on stream. I'm sure not today, but whenever I think Thursday is when I'll go back to normal streams, normalcy.
So you're gonna take a vacation or anything?
No, I Final Fantasy is the vacation.
Oh
I
shit. Yep,
guess.
fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, that's fair.
On
This
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, excited for it. Looking good.
Oh,
Reviews I
man.
think drop tomorrow for that, so we'll see
Ooh.
how that goes. They drop. I don't know what time I don't know what time the embargo is. I think they all said Wednesday though. It's usually 24 hours prior, so we'll see. That demo did a lot of work. Zeke, did you check out that demo by the way? For 16?
No.
Okay. You have zero interest in 16?
Well, I have more interest in Final Fantasy 16 than I have had in any Final Fantasy for a very long time.
Okay.
Because it has my favorite part of Final Fantasy 6 or Final Fantasy. Way back in the day, it was Final Fantasy 2 in the States, and then I think it was 4 in Japan or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's when they introduced the Rydia, I think it was her name, the green haired summoner.
Yeah.
And she would summon these big monsters, and I was like, oh my god! And I fell in love with that. And I actually told the story on my chat about my very first like long-term D&D character, where we would get together on Saturday nights. I was like 16 years old. I made a summoner character, like that was their specialization class, because I thought that was so cool. I kind of modeled it after Rydia. And this has it has a lot of that, so that's why like I might be checking it out, but I'm still on the fence about it. I'll wait till people talk about it.
Okay.
If you like the idea of people like summoning giant beings into existence, you 100% should play this game.
Yeah.
They're like, not to spoil it, but that is a major theme.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty
If
amazing.
you've seen any of the marketing, yeah, for 5 seconds,
Mhm.
it's all over the place. But
Yep.
it's good. We'll talk about that, I guess Sunday is when we'll do another show this week and talk about, because that'll be what mostly I think me and Co have been playing going into Sunday's show. But before all that, we need to talk about this Twitch news. Maybe not.
Real quick to answer real fast, somebody in chat. Note, just like most Final Fantasies, you don't need to have played any of the previous ones to fully fall into the new one. There are reoccurring themes.
Yeah.
So like there are, like chocobos, and there's certain characters that show up kind of canonically. Thank you. That generally are different people but are references to themselves. Most of like the big summons kind of are the same theme throughout the game. But no, in terms of story and characters and stuff like that, you're totally fair game.
Yeah. They're all standalone for sure.
Get Max for the show next weekend, dude. He's gonna be in Final Fantasy. No,
Yeah,
there's no way.
I don't.
Too soon, man.
I don't think that's. Yeah.
Not
I don't
even
think
worth
Max
asking.
will be able to pull himself away from that. He's also he plays the games. I wouldn't say slower is the term, but he searches every crevice and corner and cranny. So he'll be playing for a while.
He also does a lot of multiplayer streaming, even when he's in like a single player game.
That is
so
true.
Because he's got a big group of friends that he streams with. He's one of those social people.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird. It's weird.
That's crazy. I still don't get it.
I don't either.
Oh man.
Well, where do we begin? The reason that we're doing the show on a Tuesday is because we wanted to be somewhat relevant in terms of all the news that's been happening this past week and change.
There was actually Twitch news that just got announced.
Yeah,
during our intro.
The content classification labels just got announced, so we'll dive into that. Although from my quick perusing, it just looks. I kind of have an idea of what this is, but yeah, where should we even begin? Because there's Twitch official news. There's partners signing for $100 million contracts. There's just like absolute. It's popping off. You want to start with that? Should we start with the?
Sure.
The XQC has signed a non-exclusive contract with Kick.com, a competitor to Twitch, for $100 million.
70 million base, 30 million incentives.
Yeah, that was what I saw too. And then there's been like info trickling out about it. A lot of, he didn't say what percentage, but he does. Some of that was in equity of Kick. So he is a part owner or something. Like it's
Oh,
kind of all over the place.
well, I
It's
just thought it was 70 million. It's not.
no, I don't think it was an all cash deal. I think that there was part of that was
Oh,
equity and kick as well. So monopoly money in essence. But yeah,
huh.
it's been an interesting thing to watch all that happen because not even like 48 hours after announcing and streaming on Kick, he decided that he was going to stream The Dark Knight, you know, the Batman movie. And Kick was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that because you're going to get DMCA'd. But they did it in a way where they didn't take the stream down. So it kind of like combats the idea of DMCA safe harbor law. And so,
A
like,
kick, a kick admin went into his channel and pinned a message at the
yeah,
top of his chat saying to turn it off because it's a DMCA risk.
yeah. And then, like, right after that, another Kick partner, Aiden Ross, streamed Prison Break, the Fox slash Hulu show. And XQC was like, well, how come he's not getting that? Because that's like copyright. And it's just like what the fuck are the, what the fuck is going on? Like,
God,
it's,
dude, it's like, hey, here's more money than anyone normally will ever see in their entire life. And he's like, thanks, kick in the balls. Like, oh, why'd you do that? Why'd you do kick? You kick in the balls.
yeah. And I haven't fully dove in because I've been literally streaming for 20 days. So I haven't like seen all of the things about it, but it's just been a mess, I
The
think.
thing, what? So first of all, to talk about the deal, like that deal is insane.
Yeah, it's a
It
landmark
just, I
deal
mean,
in
that is
entertainment, not just
landmark.
streaming.
Exactly. I mean, it's literally
Anywhere.
like what was it? I think that Ludwig, big YouTuber, tweeted out like the one of the largest NBA players has a
LeBron
$97
James.
million contract. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like XQC has actually eclipsed that. Um, but I will say it's been interesting seeing how it is like on from his perspective because you can tell that I mean, the Dark Knight thing's a perfect example. He doesn't take it seriously at all. Not that he ever has. I think that's kind of his thing, but like it's very weird to hear him be like, yeah, I have all of this faith in the platform and I want to be a part of it and I want to see it grow, so I'm going to do something I know is the wrong thing to do on like my second or third day on the platform just to see what happens. I'm just gonna poke that bear
Yeah.
like on day 2.
Well,
It's just
that
like, what are you like how can anyone take you seriously at that point that you're invested in this when you're instantly doing clown decisions
right.
like on this. It's just it's wild. It's wild.
And that was a big deal
Then
that
again, you
he
got to
told
know,
his community was like, guys, we could do things here that we can't do on Twitch. Like watch, you know, things like that. And we can watch other content. But yeah, it's sorry, Zeke. What were you gonna
That's
say?
like the Aiden thing when he streamed porn, I guess. Like just
Yes.
literally straight up streamed pornography on his
Yep.
channel in front of a bunch of, younger viewers. Just
His audience.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
whole thing is just it's a clown show, man. It's a clown show.
Yeah.
no, I like to a much smaller degree. I have that little like whenever I get a sponsor stream for something that's like I did something last week, a game that was like super wholesome, like really like could have been easily on the wholesome direct, and I was streaming it, and it was fine, but it was like they know who they're hiring, right? It's the same thing with XQC. It's like they gotta know who they're hiring, and like they
Yeah.
gotta expect what they're known for, right? Like, like they know I'm gonna swear on accident, probably, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The idea behind signing XQC is to bring over the audience to another platform, right? And that's why it was
That's
non-exclusively. At least that's how they said. Was
the
he's still
whole
going to stream
point
on
of
Twitch
these
and bring his
contracts.
audience. Yeah.
The best way to think of these contracts they are leech contracts. That's what they are. They're leech contracts.
Yeah.
Because and it's the first time we've seen those. And the reason I say that is just like a leech, they basically like they're a separate entity and they take their streamers and they literally as part of their contract say start on Twitch. Get all of your Twitch people watching you. And then we want them to watch you. Come over to Kick, start up your stream there and all of them will You know, they want to siphon those viewers off of Twitch. There's a reason, and to their credit, it's really smart.
Yeah.
There's a reason that they don't sign them exclusive to Kick. It's because they literally want to leech those viewers over to their platform, and hopefully, to what they are hoping is they will start looking for streams on Kick instead of Twitch.
And
Which
also,
the metrics say is not really happening yet. So I think they still have to kind of keep going. I mean, there are Kick viewers,
Yeah.
but with the amount of money they're putting into it, I think everyone can kind of see it's probably not quite as much as they would like there to be. So, you know,
Well-
it's an interesting. It's the first time we've seen it. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Sorry, Zeke, go ahead.
no, that's fine. It's also like I just thought of this and it's obvious, and can't believe it took me this long to realize like this is everywhere. This story is everywhere, and this is going to be the majority of people's first time even hearing about this Kick site.
Right.
And I wonder how much like advertising budget they have, and I'm wondering like, okay, we're gonna pay you $100 million, but half of that is for just getting our name in everybody's heads now.
Oh, there's no question this was a huge PR move.
Absolutely, yeah.
No question.
I mean,
100%.
the
Like
story
it is,
broke
it's
in New
probably
York
just
Times.
as much of a that 100 million was just as much so they could say they're paying 100 million as they feel that there is value in there. Like they want to throw that money around because more importantly, I mean, think of this deal and then think of the perspective of the main, we'll call him the main backer of Kick, and that's a streamer named Trainwrecks. And Trainwrecks is somebody who feels vehemently and personally wronged by Twitch and a lot of the top streamers on Twitch. He is vocal all the time about his insecurities, about how much he hates these people. He basically hates them so much he convinced Stake to make this platform just so he could go and do his thing on there, and has made the entire platform the anti-Twitch. So going from that perspective, the fact that he can now say, we paid $100 million for your top streamer. Like, that's a huge amount of money. And all of those people that he feels have wronged him are going to be like, well, how much do you want for me? You know, they're going to start, he's trying to turn the tables on them. How the turntable. So it's all like, it's just as much politics and PR as it is actually getting a streamer and actually getting numbers on their platform, to put it bluntly.
And for those of you out there saying like they got endless money, sure they do, but didn't fucking Microsoft have that too?
Sure.
And we saw what happened with Mixer. Like how long are they going to let this go if it doesn't work out?
So we had a long talk about this on my stream, and this is the interesting thing to consider. Unlike Microsoft, there is a giant shadow part of Kick that we have no information on. And that is, and this is very important for anyone that's following this stuff. That is, Kick is pouring, or Stake is pouring money into Kick, and we know for a fact that is using that to advertise. How much extra money on gambling is Stake making because they're using Kick? Because here's the thing, Kick might be worth it for them. They may be making more money on new Stake users than they're spending on the 95 split, on the lack of advertising, on the infrastructure from AWS to run the site. We don't know. Nobody knows except them. So it's interesting because there's been this, and I've actually publicly stated this in the past. There's this whole like, how is this profitable? It's unsustainable. There's all this stuff going on. There's a very good chance this is sustainable for them because it's hand in hand with a gambling website that is siphoning literally millions and millions and millions of dollars off the viewers of Kick.
Right.
So it's interesting. It's interesting to think that it could be around with these completely unsustainable deals and no ads and buying out streamers. They could be doing this for years and years and years because it may be actually making the money. We'll never know.
Yeah. And
We'll never know.
I do think that, I don't know how long it'll be, but XQC
Or
will
it could be making them nothing.
Well, XQC hasn't started gambling on stream yet. There's no doubt in my mind that that's going to be a thing, that he's going to go on kick.com and, you know, start gambling. That you could do that over there. In
the conversation that we had with this, I said the same thing. I said, I wonder if they're going to turn XQC into a 2-year gambling advertisement.
Probably.
And a lot of people in chat pointed out quickly that apparently on a stream with Trainwrecks and XQC, they stated publicly that gambling is not part of his contract,
Huh.
which was very interesting. I
Yeah,
was like,
that
oh,
is.
damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like, I definitely, I was under the same assumption, dude. I thought they were just going to use him as a poster boy for Stake.
Right.
And that was why they spent that much money. But now, of course, what one says and what one does are two very different things.
Very true.
I'm just gambling for fun, on stake.com. Go check it here and use my referral code. But it's, we'll have to see what comes of that.
We will.
What comes of that.
We will. It's I perused the LSF because Reddit's back, but that's a whole thing that I missed. Is everyone like shut Reddit's down?
Reddit disappeared and then came back,
and then Reddit was like, "Hey,
now it's going to go again."
Oh, they're going to do it. They're going away again.
Well, no. So Reddit shut down. Big huge swaths of Reddit shut down.
Yeah.
Because on July 1st, on July 1st, they're throwing the switch to basically like outlaw many of the biggest API callers. And then finally Spez was like, no, screw you. We're not doing anything. It's not happening. So most of them got together and they're like, okay, well, we're pissed, but we're going to turn the lights back on. Mainly because Reddit also said, if you guys keep this stuff down, we're just going to throw out all the mods of all of your subreddits and get new mods.
I saw that.
They did the D-Day. But on July 1st, once everyone gets these apps shut down, like Reddit's going to lose huge swaths of users because many users only access Reddit through those apps. So on July 1st, like huge chunks of the user base are just going to literally evaporate overnight as these major servers fall. 95+% of my Reddit time is on an app called Reddit is Fun. RIF.
Yeah.
Love it. It's been great. I've been using it for years.
That's going away.
When that app goes down, which it's slated to go down. When that app goes down, like I doubt I'll use it a fraction as much as I used to. The Reddit official app is garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah.
So it's it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is LSF was one of those subreddits that was in protest, and then I think alongside this XQC news, which might have just been a timely thing, they came back online via the messages from Spez and the Reddit mods and yada yada yada. Anyways, the past like 24 hours have just been multiple threads. Obviously, XQC is a huge part of LSF, but he just seems a little like unhinged, like he's in defense mode at the moment. Which I don't know. If I got 100 million, I'd be sitting kind of like happy and just being like, "Cool, guys, what do y'all want to do? Should we just hang out? I've got $100 million now, It's a very interesting situation to see him be as defensive as he is, and clips of him throwing phones and yada 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 yada. It's been an interesting thing to see all of that in the past like 48, 24 hours, something like that.
That was XQC on the phone, and he said, "All of you."
Well, that's sure. Yeah, he's been saying that a lot about a lot of streamers in the past little bit. But yeah, that not only XQC, Amouranth, I think, also announced that she signed with Kick.
30 million.
Is that? I never saw I didn't watch the video.
I think it was
30 million.
Oh, I didn't watch a video. I saw a story on it. I think Dexerto or something tweeted it. But
Okay.
I want to say it was 30.
Yeah.
But again, and this is interesting because now it's kind of like, is that like actually 30 million or is it like 2 million cash and 28 equity? Like what does that mean? I'm very curious how all these numbers shake out now because I wonder if they're inflated to be, again, news stories.
Yeah.
And not necessarily,
yeah,
like that kind of stuff.
And with that, I think Trainwrecks, who you already mentioned, also said that there's 5 streamers that they're quote unquote acquiring. XQC was the variety. He also the categories were like variety, FPS, MMO, just chatting, and female. So
female?
Yeah. So
female.
The female, I guess, would be Amouranth. I don't know. But
so I wonder,
I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. Like I just was perusing Twitter the other day and I saw a tweet, like a viral tweet or whatever, about someone saying like, if you ever are around someone who uses the term female instead of woman or women, that is a huge red flag. And I was like, that is absolutely correct. That is correct.
Yeah, it's so basically,
I'm on the fence on that one. I still know a lot of good people that haven't gotten that memo. So like, I think I don't know if we're quite there for that red flag. I'd say it's more like a yellow flag. I wouldn't say it's quite a red flag.
still a weird thing.
It
Anyways,
sounds a little weird.
with that said, we got 3 more. If Train is to be believed, there's 3 more people that will be signing in some form with Kick over the next couple of days, or weeks, or months, or however long it is. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I think there was another one. Mizkif signed with Rumble, which is like another streaming site, and it's the same type of thing where it's like streaming on Rumble for X amount of hours, and then
It's a leech
the
contract.
dual stream. Yeah, leech contract. That's a good way to say that.
That one's interesting because here's first of all, I kind of followed the Miskiff stuff a little bit. Not him, of course, but like the deal, because I was
Right.
kind of interested to see, because he was the first person that did the Rumble stuff. Hugely poorly received. Like I saw single digit percentages of people that were like, yeah, get him. Even the people that, you know, normally, yeah, get the bag, blah blah blah. They were just like, really, Rumble, really? That's where you're going? So Rumble apparently has the reputation of being like this giant alt-right powerhouse, where,
Yes.
you know, there's a lot of people on there who have been quote unquote canceled for their various things. They kind of end up on
Banned
Rumble.
on YouTube as well.
But the thing that I think a lot of folks don't realize is that Rumble is trying to change that rep. That's kind of the whole thing. And because I bet you that he is not going to be the only person we're going to be hearing Rumble from in the future. I think they're trying to break out of that. Now it's going to be very hard for them to do that while still harboring all those people. It's not like they're kicking those people off the platform. But from the looks of it, they're trying to position themselves to be more of like an actual competitor to this stuff.
Yeah.
That being said, they're going to need a lot more guns than they got now for that kind of thing.
Sure.
And we haven't really heard too much from them outside of like Miz. So, you know, see what they can do. But hey, I think we've always said many times on the show, the more competition, the better in this space. Like it's dearly needed, especially with the way Twitch has been acting lately. So
Yes.
yeah, we'll have to see what comes of it.
Absolutely. So that's.
Oh yeah, and apparently Kai Sinet signed with for a weekly show on Rumble.
Oh, so is it just his? I think he's doing a show with I Show Speed, which is another massive content creator. Yeah.
It's not really like they're doing a show on Rumble, so it's not quite
Okay.
the same as like signing them as a streamer. I think because Rumble, I think mostly does like podcasting and stuff like that. But they're
Got it.
branching out again. They're branching out into more stuff. So
Yeah.
But yeah, they're doing a big thing.
Got it. Well, that's all.
What would you do?
That's all happening.
What's the first big thing you do with $100 million?
Invest it. Get a money man that I trust. Tell no one. Like all of the above.
Quit this horrible job.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
quit. I would just be like, guys, I'll be back in like 2 weeks. I gotta go see a thing about a dude. I'll see you in a bit, and then just like
Go see a
disappear.
thing about a
Go see a
dude.
thing about a dude.
Yeah, just go
about a thing.
disappear, and then like show back up, be like, hey guys, I'm gonna play whatever the fuck I want, and not look at anything but chat, because numbers are meaningless to me now. And that's how.
No,
would
I mean,
interact.
and I think JP's right, man. I think that's what any I will say partially smart person would do. I mean, you have $100 million. You invest that properly. You wouldn't have to take any risks, and you would make millions a year just in putting that in the right place for interest.
Yeah, but
and
like,
then you start taking that, and then you know.
You're not gonna do anything fun with it.
Well, here's the thing.
Even
Zeke.
like,
Well, first of all, I would buy
$10 million.
Personally, if I got $100 million, the first thing I would do is buy you to finally show your ass on stream.
Oh,
That would be probably the first thing I would do with my $100 million.
Okay.
Just to
Not
make
bad.
that happen.
Not bad. Little
That
side
is
deal.
Then-
a running thing that running open invitation. If anybody ever wants to give me $10 million, I will show my asshole on stream. And that has been like, I've been saying that for like, I don't know, 5 years now,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
One day,
and
one
I will,
day,
It's gonna happen.
That's a
a
promise.
trolley Saudi oil baron is going to hear that, and he's just going to be like, Really? How much did he say? Yo, wire it over into the fun fund.
Yeah. Give it to him.
Let's have ourselves some fun with this crazy
It'll happen.
streamer.
Zeke.
No, but real talk, what I would do, the
Stop!
first thing
You're
I would
getting
do,
tears on my Rolex. Stop it!
I would buy the EverQuest IP
Oh,
and I would remake EverQuest in Unreal 5 without a cash shop or anything like it. And I would make like upgrade all the QOL and everything. And that would be the first phase.
there you go.
Then I would move through all the good classic MMOs and make new awesome QOL
Versions of
free
them.
versions. So we'd have like a brand new EverQuest, a brand new Dark Age of Camelot, brand new Anarchy Online,
Great.
brand new Shadowbane, an Unreal 5 Ultimate
I don't know if
Online.
100 million
I mean,
would
come
cover
on.
that, but
Oh,
you might
well, see, each one of those would make like at least $1 billion.
at least $1 billion.
So you know,
Okay.
so I would just filter it all back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you all look like shit. I've said for years, if I ever got like super rich, I'd buy my mom a house.
There you go. Yeah, get her a house. To
Yeah.
be
virtue
honest-
signaling.
Yeah. I honestly think like
I'd give all my money to charity.
I would.
My mom is a
right.
charity. If you've ever met her, you'd know.
Ooh, back and forth. I would honestly just do
You're
what.
not invited to my house anymore.
Oof, that's rough.
I just uninvited you. You've been
Too
uninvited.
bad.
Get out of here.
I live in your walls.
No, it's true. He sounds like a rat.
I'm Parasite.
Oof.
around.
No, I would honestly just do what Shroud has done. Like he didn't make 100 million, but like he took some time off. He bought himself a house. He's got him a $6,000 chair behind him that he never sits in because that's what rich people buy. He got a full Iron Man. You know, he just has like small things that he buys. He's got a like $10,000 Iron Man statue, and then he just continues
That's-
playing his games. I'm like hanging
That's
out.
the thing. Like this actual topic came up last time I was streaming about like complaining, and they're like, "Oh, first world problems." I'm like, listen, I've been dead broke. I've had like negative balance in my bank account, and
Not able to pay bills.
I don't complain less. I complain the same amount, just about different shit.
Yeah, everyone.
You know, now that I am,
everyone does.
financially, comfortable, I suppose.
That is,
But
that is
it's the same
known
thing.
for that.
Like we all buy shit we don't need. It's just different shit. Like no matter how much money, like if you like, even at my like poorest, I bought shit. And I'm like, I'm gonna use that, and I never used it. Like even if it was like a nail, like a 10-cent nail. Like I'm gonna use that to do this, and then I never used it.
that is humans are always in flux based on their perspective, and what you're just talking about is rock star syndrome, where it doesn't make any sense to somebody who is making ends meet with bills that some rock star who has millions of fans, gets to do what he loves, has endless money. Why would they ever commit suicide? Why are they unhappy? What's wrong? Like how could you be unhappy when you have all that stuff? It's all perspective. As you get more,
Yep.
what you complain and whine about just changes.
You still
That's all it
complain
is.
and whine.
It just changes.
It's human nature.
It's like absolutely. Don't get me wrong. Like it alleviates the important stuff. A roof over your head and food and water and working plumbing. That's awesome. And those are real complaints. But you still complain and whine all the time. Like you don't all of a sudden become a better person when you get a huge influx of money. I know it sucks,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
That's exactly
That
right.
would be nice. That would be nice if
That's
everyone
exactly
that
right.
was a millionaire and billionaire was just a great person because they had all the money they need.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not how that works, unfortunately.
Oh, that would be nice.
So, yeah, well, it's interesting times, I will say. The bare minimum, you can kind of look at all this stuff and just say like it's interesting times. I think Twitch is just like, yeah, we're not going to do that, and that's what we're seeing right now is they're done, right? Like they've changed the ad culture on Twitch. That is what they wanted to do with their big contracts, and now they're going to try to make the site profitable, and that's kind of the goal.
And what's hilarious is like there's two big parts to this that I think are super interesting to kind of zoom in on. Twitch does not take Kick seriously at all. And they're not going to until they start running ads and doing
Sure.
things of that nature. Because if you look at the metrics, if you look at the global metrics, Kick is still, even now, even with the biggest streamers, like still a very, very small, less than, like single digit percentage of what Twitch is. And most importantly, all of the people that want to run ads can only do it on Twitch because Kick can't run ads. They can't run ads on their platform right now. They're not able to. Train has announced that they do have ads coming, but I mean, are they only going to be for crypto and stake gambling? Like we don't know what that's
Is
going to be like.
there
Yeah.
So
is there a
Kick
legal
doesn't take them.
reason?
No, there's no legal reason. There's PR reasons. There's also Aiden reasons, if you want to call them that.
Yeah. They
they're,
gotta
like,
fix their content first.
Kick has an image problem. Kick has an image problem. If
Okay.
you've noticed, there's like no sponsored streaming that happens on Kick. It's an image problem. So it's one that they really need to work on if they want to be taken seriously. But on top of that, it's interesting because Kick not only is trying desperately and screaming into the void for Twitch to take them seriously, but Twitch doesn't even act like they exist. Like they're not making power moves on streamers that are still on their platform. They're still putting out bad deals, as we see streamers getting deals all over the place, and nobody. When's the last time somebody announced a big Twitch deal? You know what I mean? Like that's gone.
They're done. Yeah.
They're and what's even funnier is their big CEO Dan Clancy was on a show a while ago, and this gets a little weird, but ride this roller coaster with me.
We watched this a little bit. I think
We did. And he makes this comparison about what, like, I'm going to paraphrase here.
Just read the direct
If
quote. That might be best if you just read the direct quote.
The point is
Paraphrasing will get you in trouble.
Dan basically is asked, if there is an act that you want to do on somebody, if you want to do something to someone, and I'm gonna paraphrase here, how do you do that? And Dan actually responded to this question. But the crazy thing is if you look into his response, it's exactly what Twitch is doing.
Yeah.
And what he said basically is, if you want to do something big, you have to start by making it really big and then reel it back to some place that's like a middle ground, but that's where you want it to be originally. And at the time, it's hilarious, right? Because he's literally talking about peeing on people and everyone's laughing and stuff. But then you look at this 70-30 split stuff, where originally everyone was being told that everyone was going to be 70-30 split. So then they announced that they're removing it completely. And then all of a sudden we get this weird Partner Plus program, which is still going to screw over most people, especially the top streamers. And not even everyone applies or is valid for it. And then Twitch treats it like a massive win. And that's exactly what Dan was talking about on that podcast. Like he literally put their playbook out and all of these people are just like, oh yeah, cool. It's great. It's great. It's like, no, they got you. Like they just played you like a freaking fiddle. Like this is exactly what they wanted to do. They still won so hard, but you're praising them for it.
Right. Yeah, the
it was wild.
The Partner Plus program. Let's jump into that because that's what you were referencing.
Last thing I'll say, shout out to Dan for being so honest. He absolutely didn't need to do that, and I'm still baffled by that dude's transparency. Like in terms of his position, it's pretty amazing.
Even after the big announcement of it, was it the same day or was it the next day? They like jumped on the stream. I don't know if you watched that, but there was like, it was him, Mike Minton, who's the head of ads essentially at Twitch.
Yeah.
And oh god, I forgot the third person's name. She is the head of content, I think, the chief content officer at Twitch. I forget her name.
You talking about the girl that replaced DJ Wheat?
No, I don't think so, at least.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, the three of them jumped on, and it was just like very much a Zoom call. Mike Minton's microphone and audio setup was very bad. There was no like lower thirds, so if you didn't hear them constantly saying their names, you had no idea who the fuck these people were, unless you knew who they were. And they just like walked through and talked about everything that they were announcing in the Partner Plus program the same day, which is wild. And it seemed like from what I saw, at least on social media, that like the Twitch employees didn't know that was going to happen because they were just like, oh, I guess this is just a thing now. That's wild that they're out there and talking about it so openly and upfront and just like asking questions, answering questions from the community right then and there. So I do think that that's kind of a cool initiative if that's where they're going. Because in the past it's been very much like we're gonna wait and see what the community says for 3 or 4 days / maybe a week, and then we'll put out a longer response that's very structured and nuanced. And sometimes that worked and sometimes it didn't. But let's dive into the actual Partner Plus program because that's a whole thing as well. Co kind of already summed it up in the sense that what it is, but the bare bones of it is that streamers within the Partner Plus program will receive a 70-30 split share on net subscription revenue for up to 12 months, up to $100,000. The sticking point is the qualification process is that partners must maintain a sub count of at least 350 recurring paid subscriptions for 3
Not
consecutive
Prime
months.
subs.
Yeah, those
Yes.
cannot be Prime subs and
Or
they
gifted.
cannot be gifted subs. So you cannot, quote unquote, like game the system.
And at the time of the writing of this, it was worked out that 2.5% of partners qualify for this program.
Yeah, which is what
2.5.
I think I saw that was around 1,000 people on Twitch is kind of what that works out to, given the latest partner numbers on Twitch, partnered streamers on Twitch.
So in other words,
not great.
It's not a lot.
No.
Not great. And then you have to keep in mind that the top end. So, there's a lot of it's public what a 70-30 split is. I mean, they're public with it. It's about $3.50 per sub. So a lot of top end streamers are very public with their sub numbers.
If your location does $5 subs.
Yes, exactly. $5 localized.
Yeah.
So what that means is, for instance, is that the first and don't get me wrong. Let me preface by saying 100K is a lot of money. This is money that the streamers earned. This is money that viewers give to the streamers to support them. So 100K is still a lot of money. But the premise behind this 100K roof is if you sub to a streamer and he has, 10,000 subs, that's $35,000-ish a month that would count towards this. So that means in the first 3 months, he would earn out of the partner program and then get a double-digit pay cut for the rest of the year for 9 more months. And it's not like this is a double-digit pay cut going to feed hungry children or going to smaller streamers. This is Twitch and Amazon just taking that money that is being earned, just taking it and putting it towards their profits. So it is that's wild, dude. That's the whole earn out part of that program is wild. Because they're and again, keep in mind, that's if a streamer has 10,000 subs. There's streamers that average like 20,000, 30,000. There's a subathon right now with Iron Mouse. She has like 125,000. In 1 month, she would earn out of this partner program by like 3 times.
Right.
So it's wild. And then every month after that, her split gets reduced by over 20%. Just off your paycheck. Which is, again, that's wild.
It is. Yeah.
That's wild.
It is essentially
after the 100K hit, the split goes back down to 50-50. That's the premise. The premise is that it's 70-30 to 100K. And then after you earn out of 100K, you then return to Twitch taking half of your sub income.
Yeah.
And sorry, last thing I'll say.
No, go ahead.
Even though gift subs and prime subs don't count towards the 350 you need to earn into the program, they do count against your 100K.
Right. So
it's like this weird thing where there's like this sweet spot and it gets to a point where you're like, stop gifting me subs and instead tip me via PayPal because I will earn out
right.
and lose
That's
money.
What I was about to say. Yeah.
I will lose money if you give subs in the channel because it will drop my ratio down. So please, instead of gifting me, go PayPal me or Patreon me or something else. Do not gift me money through Twitch because you will screw up my ratio.
Right.
It's again wild.
It's very wild because, like, on both sides of the spectrum, if you're under 350 subs, it's bad. I mean, in a way, I guess, but on both sides of the spectrums, it's bad, right? Like, sub 350 subscriptions, you're not part of the program, and after that, you're also getting screwed. So for the quote 2.5%, that's the sweet spot, which is 2.5% apparently of the entire platform. So not a good thing. And I think this launched very quickly to like, hey, it's 70-30. Yay, we did it, guys. And then a couple hours after that, people were like, wait a minute, this is not a good thing. And I think it kind of backfired.
70-30. People heard 70-30 and got excited. And and to their credit, like here's where it gets even weirder. Like Twitch has ambassadors, and many of them signed off on this exact thing. And I think even a lot of them were like after the fact, like, oh, hold up. Like, wait a second. Like this is not quite the win that we thought it was.
Yeah.
Which is, again, just super, super unfortunate. It's the kind of thing where it's like, this stuff does not need to be complicated. It's being complicated like this for obvious reasons, where they want to obfuscate goodwill while not actually doing it in the back end. It's really unfortunate. Like, I think I speak for all of us when I say we want Twitch to get wins. Twitch needs wins these days. And it's so unfortunate to see themselves shoot them in the foot just over and over with stuff like this. Where it's like,
okay,
it's rough.
For someone like if you made over 100,000, but they instituted the 50-50 after that, but they said, okay, we're doing that so we can pay everybody 70-30 up to 100,000. Would that be something you think top streamers would be willing to do?
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
No.
The whole Twitch
don't want to help anybody.
Twitch has proven over and over that we are not in the bleed purple era. This is not a we help you, you help us situation. Twitch is a platform that's making their money, and we are making our money on their platform. So this idea that streamers need to give something up or other streamers to get things, that's ludicrous.
Yeah.
That's ludicrous. That'd be like your boss coming to you at your job and be like, I was going to give you a raise, but instead I'm going to give these 3 people a third of the raise you were going to get.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why don't you just do all of it? like we're like, why? What are you doing? Like, that doesn't know. Like, we've all deserved a raise. We should all get a raise. Like, it's not. We're not that bleed purple community anymore. And obviously it's not what they're gonna do. Like, we would never know on the back end, but it's like the exact amount that top streamers would lose would then get like communistic style distributed across like that. Just, oh man, that's messy. That's weird, and that would cause more problems than this.
Yeah. I agree.
And we came up
Also,
a while ago. Oh,
America.
When this was announced, we came up with a hypothetical number for like if you're going to earn 100,000 on like just static numbers. We just took the static numbers. $5 sub, 350 out of that goes to you. How many subs? 2,380 subs. If you are doing over that, then everything after that is 50-50 split. So anybody with 2380 subs, like give or take, obviously, because of
every month,
localized
not
pricing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And see, here's the thing. The premise is that if you have 2380 subs and you have that exact amount each month, you won't earn out of the contract. That's the premise. But if you do at any point before then, and you still have a month left, then you drop back down to 50-50. So the weird idea here is obviously the more subs you have, the earlier you earn out, the more money you lose. So basically the better you do, the more you get penalized. That's what Twitch is doing with this. Like, great thing to tell your creators.
If you are listening to this and you're wondering, like, if you have access to a Twitch partner rep, get in contact with them, because that's what I did. And my partner rep informed me that my current contract will stand until it's up next August, like a year from August.
You get to go from August. Nice. Mine renews in 10 days, and so I'm good till June of next year. Before this,
I do need to say, for full transparency, that my contract, everything that happens in the partner program does not affect me in any way.
Got it.
That being said, it still pisses me off, and I still am loud and vocal about it.
Yeah.
But I should probably say that for full transparency.
But I guess answer this for transparency or not. It's up to you. that contract will eventually run out, will it not? Like it has
Yes.
it has an end date. Yeah.
I am not forever employed by Twitch. No,
Right.
I'm not a forever exclusive. That is correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So that makes sense. But yeah, Zeke's 100% correct. Look at your contract, see when it auto renews. If it hits before October 1st, then you won't be affected by this until that contract ends, essentially. And then you will be sometime in 2024.
And also, I the reason why I asked my my partner rep, and it's because I saw on the little I don't know, graphic box that of what applies towards the qualifications towards Partner Plus items eligible for 70/30 net subscription revenue, and Prime subs were not on there. So I contacted her and I was like, does this mean like all of my Prime subs are going to get a 20% cut? Like my Prime subs, I don't know about you guys, but my Prime subs count for about 20% of my subscription revenue.
Yeah.
That's honestly low compared to most people. You have a very supportive community.
Yeah. In terms of Prime and not Prime, for sure.
Yes.
I don't know what my percentage is, but yeah, I would think 20% of all subs being Prime is low.
From the people I've talked to, the more recently you started streaming, the more skewed you tend to be towards Prime subs, interestingly enough. So like the paid subs kind of slowly collect over time. But Prime subs like are, flash in the pan stuff, but make the majority of a lot of people's income.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a wild thing. Obviously this hits October 1st. A lot can happen between now and October 1st. It's 3-ish months away. And that, when is TwitchCon US? Is that in October? Zeke, do you know the dates on that?
Yes. I don't know the exact dates, but yes, it's
in October. Okay. So they could make change. I mean, they seem to be moving fast and making changes fast. So a lot can happen between now and then.
19th to 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Okay. All right. And the other thing too, Co kind of mentioned it. But the ambassadors and the ambassador, I think it's a Discord. Is that right? Do you know for sure? Is it a Discord?
I am not a Twitch ambassador.
I'm not either.
So I don't know.
I think it's
I'm
a
kind
Discord.
of going off what I've mostly seen publicly on Twitter.
That has been very, 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 very active the past couple of weeks, from everything that I've seen on social media and just talking with actual ambassadors. And so that seems kind of like a first, because I know like Mike, for example, C-level execs at Twitch are in there constantly having conversations with ambassadors, and like regardless of what comes out of that, that's great, right? Like that's cool that that's happening. And if it helps facilitate, future discussions and changes to any of this, they're able to give, actual feedback to all of it. Great. That's really good. I hope that line of communication keeps up. And it doesn't necessarily need to be transparent as long as the conversation is still happening behind the scenes. Because a lot of the ambassadors that are in that program are a wide variety of broadcasters, small, huge, it all different types.
Do you know of any huge
members.
Twitch ambassadors?
I guess no one above like if you put a number to huge. I don't know any of ambassadors above 10K. But I also think those people just talk to C-level execs. At least they talk like they talk to C-level execs generally. But I don't know if there's any. I don't know what the largest ambassador is.
I was wondering, especially with the 100K clause, I was wondering if there was any ambassador that was standing up and being like, "Wait, I don't want you to take double-digit percentage of my money." You know, like hold the phone on this. Can we talk? Because I don't feel like there was any of that really.
Right.
From the sounds of things. So it makes me curious about that.
Yeah.
I thought Co was an ambassador of some kind a while ago. No, I was on something called the Council, but I withdrew from the Council.
Right.
Yeah. I am no longer on any Twitch affiliated
You can actually
councils or things.
You can actually go to twitch.tv/team/ambassadors and see a full list of all the ambassadors, which I did not.
Wait, what was that? Twitch.tv/team/ambassador?
Yep. Ambassadors, plural. And it has a full list by year of people
Oh, look at this.
The ambassador
cool.
program. Ambassador program? Ambassador program. Sorry.
Ambassador.
They're all
Yes.
ambassadors. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone super, super large on here yet, but that was in 5 seconds of scrolling. So, but you know, a lot of the bigger streamers have been vocal that they've had meetings with Twitch before. I think Dan like went to Austin at maybe South by Southwest or something and was like having dinners with OTK and all that stuff. But by the way, this past month's kind of a blur for me. What was the thing that Twitch announced and then they took back in like the next day or two because all the people were threatening to leave? What was that whole thing?
Oh, that was the ad thing. The 3% of your screen, and OTK said they were going to leave the platform, and
yeah.
That was the same. What should we call it? That was the same Dan pissing analogy, where they went super big into it and pissed everyone off, and then they were like, wait, we don't mean that, and then they kind of half did it, and everyone just kind of stayed quiet.
Oh yeah, the infamous. It's bad for you and bad for Twitch. Like that infamous tweet. Like, oh come on, guys, dude. If you knew if it was bad.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, and shout out to Mr. Mike Minton about this. Like he was super quickly and overtly like trying to clarify and on damage control. Apparently, even though there's a lot of stuff about it that wasn't great, the language made it sound a lot worse. So the problem was that the language was kind of vague. Yeah. And with this kind of thing, you can't be vague because everyone assumes the absolute worst. So shout out to Mike. He was very public, being like, no, reel it in. And we're not going after you. We're going after these third-party ad platforms. Like, don't worry. Like, it's okay. We're not. This isn't even about you. Shut up.
Yeah.
So it was. That was just another. We'll say it's the first time that Twitch didn't have great communication on something.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that happened.
Yeah, it did get reeled in.
That was happening right before SGF kicked off, right? Is I think the timeline on that. Because I remember I woke up and that hit, and then I was streaming and like chat was like, "Oh my god, OTK just announced they're all gonna leave Twitch. Aspen's gonna leave." I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? Like this is so What is happening? Yeah. It's just falling apart." And then the next day, they're like, "Everything's fine. It's all good." I'm like, "All right, I'm just gonna keep playing my games. I don't know what's going on."
It was also
someone bursts in the door, like the cruise liner. It's like, emergency!
Yeah.
Everybody! Yeah. We're out of shrimp. Everybody's like, Jesus Christ, I shit my pants!
Exactly.
Real quick, so people understand what was happening behind the scenes. And honestly, like, I'm kind of on Twitch's side with this, because what was happening was about to be big. I actually heard another streamer talking about it that raided me during Diablo 4. What was going on is there was a third-party ad company going around, and they were telling streamers, we will pay you thousands of dollars. And then what will happen is during your stream, you will run ads on your side from companies we pick, not Twitch ads, our ads. And you will do this for minutes at a time, and we will pay you for that.
Yeah.
And Twitch was like, you are not getting between us and our ads. Like, absolutely. Like, Twitch was essentially like, absolutely not. Like, if there are going to be ads on this platform, they are going to be from us. And again, understandably, Twitch has become an ad platform. They have become an ad platform. Over the last few years, we've seen the transition. That's where we are. They're a primarily ad-focused deployment platform. So for them to allow stuff like that, nothing from Twitch wins that. So they put a very heavy, instead of using a scalpel to do it properly and with good communication, they just took an action like, no, kunk. Like, no, you cannot do that. No, absolutely not.
I wonder, so it brings up a question for me. I wonder, like, because, you know, more often than not, we do sponsor streams for video games, but I mean, we've done other products like fucking toilet paper and wallets and shit like that.
Sure.
Do sponsored streams, PR companies or whatever have to go through Twitch first and say, this is our product, we'd like to start sponsoring, or do they can come directly to the streamer?
It's always through the streamer.
Absolutely. It's all, and
well, not
Twitch's
always,
credit again. to Twitch's credit, they allow that, and that is something that they have let happen. You know when Twitch steps in? When there's a legal problem. And that's exactly what we saw with Stake. That's what happened with Stake, was because Stake was unregulated. There were starting to become legal issues with it being promoted on Twitch. The right people were taking the wrong type of notice, and that's when Twitch had to step in and say, we do not allow these specific sponsor streams on our platform. But no, Twitch does get, like, frequently companies will go to Twitch, and then Twitch will do that exact same type of sponsored content through us. But most of us have managers and interface directly with developers and PR agencies, and we do all of that without Twitch being involved at all.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine, and we haven't heard anything about that changing anytime soon. If that were to change, that would be a huge issue, and I think that that's what a lot of people thought was happening
Right.
with that not so greatly managed announcement. They thought that Twitch was trying to get in the way of that relationship, and that would be game over for not only a lot of management companies, but like just a lot of stuff that's putting their hands a little bit too deep into the pie that doesn't belong to them.
Yeah.
So OTK rightfully was like, no, we do this, we're out.
We're done. Yeah.
We make so much money with this stuff. No, we're not.
That's our
gonna have
business.
that.
Yeah.
That's our business. That's right.
The reason I ask is because, like, you'd think you'd see more sponsor streams from different like varied what's that? There's an adult toys website, like you can buy like sex toys. Lover's Playground, that's what it was, right? Or something like that.
I think,
or Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve. That's what it was.
Adam and Eve. I think there are some stipulations based on some of that stuff. Like I could not do a stream sponsored by methamphetamine. Like I think there's issues, there's like legal issues, there's some stuff that comes with adult stuff, there's some stuff that comes with recreational drug use that's legal in some places and not in others. So I think there are some rules about that.
Can you still do one Weed Maps like a sponsor of
Yep.
someone for a while?
Could have been. Yeah. Yep. I did, and
Joshua G.
multiple beer companies.
There's
Beer
been a
companies
lot
have
of
done
beer.
sponsorships.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
Does
Oh, that's
coke
right. Josh.
Meth isn't a company person. No, methamphetamine is made by Methamphetamine Inc. out of
Yeah.
California.
Oh, they're a
isn't it?
huge company. Everyone knows.
Absolutely. They're huge. Everyone knows about them.
Methco is massive. Everyone knows that. Come on, Chad. Duh. Yeah, I know Weed Maps was sponsored. You mentioned Josh OG. I remember them being a big sponsor of his once upon a time. I don't know if they still are. That might be something that was ruled out. And then Co obviously mentioned the alcohol stuff. There's tons of beer sponsorships.
And
Hard
legal
liquor
gambling stuff.
Yeah.
Liquor and liquor. Lyric and Soda Poppin' have been
Yes.
doing like big tournaments and stuff.
America's
Zeke, you did
Card
some
Room.
tournaments. Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 So all that stuff is generally fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, they asked me to do it, and I ultimately turned them down because we had this discussion before. Because the name of the site is America's Card Room, and it's a .eu. And I was like, that's a little weird.
That's great. You love that. You love that. Let's go to Twitch's news today that hit as we were going live with the show. It is content classification labels. Now, I haven't read this, full disclosure, but I have an idea of what this actually exists for.
I would love to hear it.
I think that the reason that they're doing this is to create a what's the best term for it? Essentially,
Easier searchability.
no. I think this 100% has nothing. I mean, it's a byproduct of ads. It's to create ad buckets on the platform, so that if you are streaming a mature rated game, you don't get an ad for something that a mature or a non-mature person would want to be
Oh.
served. If that makes it. Did I say that correctly? Essentially, it's
You
ad
did.
buckets for different ads on the platform. YouTube probably
Okay.
has this very same thing. And so
in
I
fact-
think
in
that's
fact,
why
they
all
do.
this is.
They implemented that like a year or two ago, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like YouTube made a big thing about that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a way to go to advertisers and say like, hey, the advertiser doesn't want them to be viewed by X person, or we want to make sure that our ads are targeting X demographic or whatever. And then Twitch says, great, we have these labels that we're going to announce and our platform's going to love because they like labeling their streams and people can find things easier and it'll be a great way to index and search the website. but also we can run the ads properly and target them, target the demographics that you want, is how I look at this. I don't know if that's said anywhere in here. I haven't read this yet.
See, everyone wins. Twitch wins because they can be like, okay, ad peoples, you don't want your ad to go towards sexual themes? Okay. And the ad peoples are like, great. And then the viewer is like, well, how do I just search by sexual themes? That's all I want to see. You just show me every stream that's marked with sexual themes, and I will have a great day.
Yeah.
It's a win and a loss for me because I have all of those things except for if it said excessive nicotine use. Tobacco, no, but nicotine, yes. So I check all those boxes, and I'm just scared that when I run ads I run 3 minutes of ads every 2 hours. I'm wondering if I'm gonna get like 2 ads and that's it. Like
wait.
running
Hold
like
up.
every time I push the ad button, it's gonna be 2 ads. Like,
what is excessive tobacco use?
Yeah, I don't know.
So are
what
you
that
saying
means.
that like if I smoked a cigarette an hour, I'd be cool, but if I'm sitting there like puffing like a chimney, then I would have to use a. Oh wait. Can you just go up to what you highlighted again real quick?
This?
Streamers will not receive suspensions for failing to accurately label their streams. That said, it is important that streamers use these accurately. So if a streamer fails to accurately label content after multiple warnings, the relevant labels will be applied to the streamer's channel and may be locked for a period of time, days, or weeks, depending on the number of prior warnings. So let me get this straight. Somebody could be told a bunch of times to put sexual content on their stuff, but then they never do. And then finally Twitch is like, okay, that's it. You're locked for a year. And then they decide to go into like gaming or knitting, and then they would have to have that tag sitting under their thing the whole time. And then what? Then they're labeled improperly. If they stop doing that, so then the whole, oh my God.
Yeah. A little wild. But this is it right here. In addition to helping streamers connect with viewers who are more likely to be a good fit for their communities, these labels also help protect younger viewers and advertisers. That is that should be the fucking first sentence in this whole fucking thing. That's why it exists right there. Specifically the advertisers.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I've learned from today's show, it's that I clearly need to take up sexy knitting.
Nice. There's a big demo there. Yeah.
Do they say when that new feature is gonna go into effect?
Maybe
I just tried scrolling your screen, JP.
I will say this. If Twitch is serious about this, if they are not actually considering or already working on making it so it automatically applies that mature game warning to mature games, they're asleep at the wheel. Because I think that'd be amazing. Anytime I play a mature game, that little mature game warning automatically goes off. I play a game that's not, it just disappears. Like that's a no-brainer. That's actually fantastic.
Yeah.
It'd be rough to try and do that though, because for someone like me who plays
I'm just saying
games, like
I'm just saying if the game is rated mature, there's no reason that anyone should be in that category and not have that rating up. Like it's just, you don't, so yeah, like that would be.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it says that it's done. Oh, it does. Oh, chat is saying it does. They do, apparently.
Oh.
I'll have to read this. Okay.
Yeah, again, this went live. This got pushed live.
Yeah, this just went live. But that's fantastic. If that's the case, that's awesome.
Yeah.
GG, that's actually great.
July 20th, Zeke, is I think when they're going to launch this, or that is a date that I see here.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
to give
okay, gotcha.
streamers plenty of time to understand how they'll be expected these labels, warnings, issues until July 20th. Will only result in appropriate label being. Oh, so maybe it's already live.
Chat is saying it's available today.
Oh, okay.
I don't see it, but maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
I don't know where we would do it. I don't think it's a tag.
It's right here. Content. It's this.
Content classification.
So it's like its own thing.
Yeah, right under stream language. I don't have it yet.
Yeah, might not be pushed live for everyone. It says starting today, so they're probably rolling it out slowly. Yeah, still rolling out.
So I definitely want to be searchable by mature content, vulgarity, sexual content. Like, well, definitely want people to know that's what I will serve you in my channel.
Here, by doing that, Zeke, you're hurting your bottom line, because then that means that ads won't run on your channel. Do you care about that at all? Because that's what, I mean, they straight up said that in the article.
It means, here's the thing though, it doesn't necessarily mean that less ads will run on your channel. it means that different ads will run on your channel. So if they
Yeah.
have 30 people that don't care about being run with that flag, and you only run 10 of those people a day, there's always going to be more than you're running. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
It's
true. It depends on
and
the
I
ads,
think
I guess.
yes, I don't think we would lose. Well, actually,
You don't
I
know,
say this,
right?
but I actually have no idea.
Yeah, you have no
I
idea.
mean, you might actually lose money.
Every
Like
ad is
that's
different, right? Every ad campaign's different. You, if they get an
that's
ad
really
for,
interesting.
uh,
Is that in the
I don't know.
FAQ? Let me look. Let me go look.
Okay. Yeah, if you get an ad for the Flash, right, and DC doesn't want to target a specific bucket, then it gets ticked off, and then that CPM or that whatever is not running on your channel. Um, especially regional ads too, because there's so many times where I run an ad and
Oh,
so many people say like, "Oh, I didn't see it. It's region based."
real quick, they actually answer this. Um, what does excessive tobacco use mean? Smoking a cigarette or vape on stream wouldn't require a label, but intentionally drawing attention to the fact that you're smoking or promoting smoking would need a label. Also,
S-
even licking in ASMR, immediate sexual themes.
Okay, so they labeled that. Yeah, I guess you have to, right? Yeah.
Will the type of content I stream affect my ad revenue? There's a possibility that the type of content you stream could affect your ad revenue. That's the first line.
Well, there you go. That right there.
Brands align their ads with content that reflects their brand values. The labels will allow advertisers to have more content to inform what type of streams to show their ads alongside, which we expect to increase brands' confidence in running ads on Twitch. We expect, and could bring new advertisers to our service. It's nice of them to be transparent about this, to be honest. It is also possible that certain brands won't want to run their ads alongside streams with specific types of content classification labels applied.
Yeah.
I have to admit, they easily could have not even included that entire paragraph in question.
Well,
That's
yeah.
actually pretty great.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we're doing this to make more money on ads, and it might very much affect your ad revenue if you classify yourself out of what these people want, essentially.
Is that stuff you're reading from on the Twitch blog?
It is. It is at the bottom of the
On the
Twitch
bottom of
blog
the
under
FAQ.
the FAQ.
Okay.
And real quick, just before I go, it looks like that's all we've been talking about. I don't see any other.
Okay.
Editors can change content classification. That's cool, but
Hey, that's
moderators
good.
cannot.
That's
Okay.
good.
You can change your content classification at any point, even partway through a stream. Oh, if yes, similar to tags and streaming categories, you can change your selected content classification label at any point of a live stream. If a different game is selected partway through a stream, we will also automatically update whether the mature rated game label is selected.
So they're gonna go
So
by
it does look like that
ESRB?
is automatic. They
Okay.
are going by ESRB. I mean, the word mature is ESRB,
Yes.
trigger language, I guess
Yeah.
you'd say.
Yeah.
So that does make sense. Yeah.
Cool. That's good. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. This is honestly for like what Twitch wants, this seems like kind of a big step in the right direction.
It seems
be
like a
honest.
positive thing for sure.
Seems like a net
I
positive.
wonder
Yeah.
what do you, I wonder
My
what
favorite, I got to read my favorite. Additionally, many hot tub streams are intended to draw attention to body parts such as the buttocks, groin, or breasts, and will need to be labeled.
wait, what?
Now, see, I watch a lot of hot tub streams, and I personally don't think I've ever seen any of that stuff, or at least focused on it. But I'll keep researching.
You'll keep researching. Okay. Great. Great.
So I really want to like. I bet you know what I'll report back. I'm going to look for buttocks on the stream text. See how many things I come up with.
Weird. It's a weird thing.
I also don't see anything about sexy knitting, so I'm
What? Do
I'm
they
committed at this point.
do they say anything about just chatting? Like does just chatting come with any content classification, or I guess is that so
I would
varied?
assume not.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
it's so
such
varied.
a varied thing.
There's a lot of actually pretty freaking wholesome just chatting streamers. So I mean, I could see how they wouldn't fall into
Yeah.
any of these categories.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a
Yeah.
broad spectrum. You're right. Of what is in the just chatting section. So
There are no live channels tagged buttocks.
Well, that's a tag. That's not a classification.
Oh,
right?
fair. Yeah, fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Zeke, that just went on your permanent Twitch record. That search that you just ran.
You now just have a
Well, we
black.
see here on June 20th, 2023, that you searched for buttocks. Could you?
None of
say
them.
this, please?
There are no streams tagged with buttocks, groin, or breasts.
Well, you did the
It's
research.
a
honestly-
crime. It's just a crime.
You
It
did the
is.
Honestly,
research.
I got this huge wave of nostalgia, like when AOL first came around. It's like I was, 13. Like, look up buttocks,
Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
look
Woo!
up groin.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Someone in my
Ask Jeeves about about breasts.
Ask Jeeves. Wow, that's a thing. Is Ask Jeeves still around? Who owns that? I wonder.
I
Wonder if
think he's
that's
got bought.
probably.
I don't know.
It's probably an AI
I
now.
think he got bought by Big Jeeves. Yeah,
Probably.
it probably is, man.
Yeah. Apparently, they just did another Twitch executive stream about the classification stuff. I guess someone in my chat
Yeah.
was just saying that. I don't know what came
Oh
out.
yeah,
of it,
I think
but-
they said. I think Mike was going live on that, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool.
He is he's getting out ahead of that stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, full disclosure, he reached out to me, and I told you guys this 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. If he wanted to come on the show and talk about whatever that we could, but I feel like if that were to happen, so much has happened between now and whenever that DM came across that it would be a completely different discussion. So we might let it simmer for a while and then have him on.
Yeah, we also tend to do like more direct discussion and less like
Corpo talk.
softer Q&A. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
say like so but hey, the fact that he
He-
wants to come on is awesome. If he's up for just candid discussion.
For everything that I've seen,
I'm curious what Mike thinks about the urine situation. Like what I wonder what he
God. From everything I've heard about that ambassador Discord, he's been very open about things because he just has been in there, answering pretty much everything. I don't know if he's been asked about the whole urine situation, as he said, but yeah,
I feel like Dan has set a precedent.
he set a precedent. Yeah, he definitely he got out there in front of it. I guess
we now need every Twitch front-facing employee's opinion
we need a
on
take.
this situation.
Yeah, we need a take from all of them.
While this is I can't
Wow.
obviously reveal like the day, time, place, whatever, but soon, TM, I have actually been invited to a dinner with Dan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I will be taking your questions, but only while I'm live on my stream. So you have to come and watch my stream
Okay.
if you want me to ask anything of Dan Clancy.
Do you?
like
Is
it,
he making
man.
I'll
you
be live
pay?
after this.
Does he make
I feel
you
like
pay
dinner
for
with
dinner?
Dan should be like they should record. Yeah,
30% of it.
they should totally record these dinners and like make it like a show, like Zach Galifianakis's Between Two Ferns. It's like dinner with Dan.
Dinner with Dan.
Unless of course the dinner,
Featuring
unless
streamer.
of course the dinner is over $1,000, and then I only have to pay 50%.
Yeah. You should just make jokes like that. I'm sure he'll love that. He'll love you. He'll be like, this Zeke guy, we need to get him a new contract.
Like I said with my sponsored streams, like they know who they invited, right?
I have to admit, from everything I've seen with Dan, he would probably laugh.
He probably would.
He does not
Yeah.
seem
Oh, yeah.
he comes across as one of the least corpos I've seen in a long time. Like he seems like a pretty real dude. Maybe he's just really good at pretending to be a real dude, but he seems like a pretty real dude.
Dude, I really hope he's like who's the Virgin guy, the Virgin Mobile guy,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
Real quick,
the billionaire
Dan Clancy is the CEO of Twitch. For those who know who we're talking about. Yeah, we're talking about
Richard
actual-
Branson.
the new-
Branson. There you go, Richard Branson. Yeah, I hope you're like Richard Branson's dinner is like, now that you've had your dinner, we're all gonna go parasailing. Let's go, choppers on the roof. And I'm like, whoa! Twitch is the best. Whatever you want to, whatever cut you want to give me, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Dan,
Let us.
Dan
know.
at the end of the dinner, Dan flips open his checkbook and he's like, "So Zeke, I heard you have this on-air dare."
Oh, it's you don't have to do it on Twitch, but I've got a hotel room.
In a camera, in a
That's
PC.
the turn.
Good Lord.
These shades
Oh
of gravy.
All right. Is anything 90 minutes on industry stuff? Anything else we need? Did we cover? Is that it? I've been
Covered kick acquisitions, random Twitch stuff, and stuff out today. Chat, did we miss anything?
Is there anything else,
We've
chat?
covered a lot today, man. 50 Shades of Purple.
That's an MZ stream.
It's gonna be my unauthorized autobiography of Chan Clancy.
If there's not a Twitch account with that name.
Oh God. I think that's it.
Oh no, wait. For the record, in full disclosure, we frequently stay away from like politics and religion and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
generally
drama and
any
all
drama
stuff.
associated with them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we probably won't be talking about any of that.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
This is relevant to, I think, both of y'all's interest and potentially fans that have been wanting to jump in. The entire Yakuza series from, well, everything except 7 is currently on GOG for $30. You get Yakuza 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $30.
And for the record,
DRM
most
free.
of those games are worth $30+ on their own, especially if you do like even 50 to 80% of them. If you 100% all those, that's going to be one of the best $30 you've ever spent.
Yeah.
I'll actually say it. Yeah.
As the big comparison in my chat, you could get 7 Yakuza games or a horse in Diablo 4. You know, you got to choose where you want.
Or skin.
Or skin. Yeah.
not-
That's true.
horse
It's
not
not an
included.
actual horse. It's not an actual horse. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yep.
Horse not included.
Yeah. Horse
It
not
is-
included. It's a skin.
0, Kiwami 2,
God.
3 remastered, 4 remastered, 5 remastered, 6 Song of Life, and apparently, well,
That's it.
I don't know if you get the bundle, but yeah, those are the ones you're gonna get.
That's insane to think about.
That's a wild deal. It's
All of those
absolutely
games
insane.
for the same price as a Diablo 4 horse skin.
Or to put it in terms some degenerates might resonate with, half of Lord of the Ring Gollum. You could get 12 games for the price of Lord of the Ring Gollum.
Like, I think you're paying for the experience when you pay for
You're-
Gollum. Like,
I don't
the
know.
price might be worth it if the experience is, you know? It
Like-
might not be as long of an experience as 6 games of Yakuza, but you might remember it longer.
It lives with, man. I put 9 hours into that game.
I'll tell you this, like, I watched Cats in the theater,
Yeah.
and that is an experience that I will never forget personally.
Yeah.
It's well documented.
I'm sorry, not 9, 6.6 hours, whatever that means, is what I put into Gollum for transparencies. What a fucking mess that game is. Still nothing to report new on
Yeah.
that game. Just a mess. Just a mess.
That's, I mean, for $30, that's like if it averages 40 hours, that's 240 hours of gaming.
And that's
the Yakuza
just main
series.
story. That's no side quest
Yeah.
stuff.
And
yeah.
and
Yeah.
that is quality gaming. Like some of the best stories
Fully
like,
voiced
in game.
cutscenes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And
Good
then
deal.
when you're done with that, you'll probably be fully addicted, and then you'll have 7, which is worth its weight in gold. Like that game's phenomenal, and then that'll get you ready for the new ones that are coming out soon. So
Yeah,
it's like,
did y'all-
oh man, get on that train.
Speaking of Yakuza, one of the things we didn't cover was the RGG event because it happened at 11 p.m. What came out of that? Was there anything that came
dude.
out of that?
I couldn't tell you because for some, I tried to watch it, JP.
Yeah.
I tried, but for some reason they thought that it would be a good idea. No subs, only English voiceover when I looked for it.
Okay.
And the English voiceover was at the same volume as the Japanese person speaking. So it'd be like, so this is like you literally like it would start like just with a little bit of Japanese and then just become this weird word jumble of English, Japanese, and like you could pick a word out every so often, but then you'd hit a half a Japanese word and get thrown off, and it was
It's a lot.
I couldn't believe it. It was I was so excited to watch it too because apparently they have some stuff about they had some stuff
Okay.
about the new Yakuza and some more stuff about The Man with No Name, which is coming out later this year. So
Okay.
yeah, it was bad. I'm hoping a subversion comes out soon, in which case I'll watch it and can report back.
Okay. Yeah, my chat is
I don't
saying
know if that's out yet.
Yakuza Infinite is Yakuza 8. That was the big info. That there's a game called Yakuza Infinite, and that's
Is
the
that the one
name
we
of.
saw? I think Infinite
Yeah, that's what
Treasure
we
or
saw.
something, I want to say.
Yeah.
That's what we saw. I think that's Infinite Treasure.
Infinite Finance. No.
Oh Lord.
Wealth.
Infinite Wealth.
Infinite
There we go.
Wealth.
Okay.
Okay. And then there was also
And apparently it features it not only has our boy from 7, but apparently this one, like they're headlining that Kiryu's in it as well. Which
Got
is
it.
cool.
Okay.
Because
he
he
was in the
was
trailer.
in 7, but not I don't want to spoil it
Spoilers.
for anyone who's going to play
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he was not
Yeah.
like a big main headliner. He was kind of there as, like a cameo.
Got it. Okay. And there was also a Judgment 3 tease, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. If is what one of my mods just said. I'm only going by what they said. So if that wasn't
Oh,
true.
it's the first I heard of that.
Yeah.
Did it have our boy Yagami, or did it? See, it's really interesting. Last I heard there was still issues with the Japanese
the
voice
voice
actor for
actor?
Yagami
Yeah.
and his agency and all that stuff. So, there was no Judgment 3 tease. Were we one guide?
Was it no shown info? It was just we're working on this game, I guess is what was said. I don't think there was like a video or anything.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there is an article here. This is never mind, a couple years ago. I don't know. I don't see a lot of information about this, so I don't see anything. I don't think that's if we could remove whoever said that and flog them out back.
The direct quote is quote, beyond Judgment, we would love to tackle an all new game as well once the pieces are in place, I guess. So
Speaking
not
of
necessarily
rumors,
Judgment 3, but yeah. Zeke, what's the rumor?
Speaking of rumors, I just want to say a preemptive and possible. You are welcome from me because of the rumors that Super Mario RPG is getting a remake. It is very light rumor string.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like probably not.
I saw Chrono Trigger remake was trending last night. That was
Maybe because of Sea of Stars.
maybe. I don't know. There is a Nintendo
'Cause that
Direct
game is
tomorrow. So
awesome. Oh, a Chrono Trigger remake. Oh my god, dude.
yeah,
Oh my god.
it might just be a massive amount of
Oh.
copium, but I would love it. I'd be a fan of
Oh,
that.
I think pretty much anyone over the age of 30 and probably a lot under it too would be ecstatic.
Yeah,
for
it'd be
that.
great.
Chrono Trigger to this day is like still one of the most unique RPGs of its type. Like, it was
Phenomenal.
so good, man. I'd love an excuse to play it again.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's I'm not gonna go off this tweet. I see the tweet though.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. It's probably nothing to it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I just wanted to say it just in case it is, because in case it is, that feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good that I have the power of God. Anything else you guys want me to play, like, that you need a remake of?
I mean,
Remaster?
go hit up EverQuest, Dark Age.
You already played Deus Ex, right?
Deus
Yeah,
Ex.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
I
I
need
did.
some of that.
I played
some of that
Deus
Zeke
Ex for
mojo.
Ramathon. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
I-
Hopefully that's around the corner.
KOTOR.
Although,
Okay.
you know what? I think we figured it out. That $2 billion deal that Embracer lost was probably for the Deus Ex remake. So I want to thank you for trying, Zeke.
Yeah, we didn't even cover it. Do you know the specifics? I mean, you're memeing right now, but what happened with that? I saw the headline
So
and I was just like,
apparently there was a giant $2 billion either acquisition or merger deal for Embracer behind the scenes. It never came out what it was, but it absolutely came out that it failed. And that spooked a whole bunch of investors because I believe they're kind of like quote unquote public and their prices tumbled. And it's been such a hit against them that they have had to formally announce that they are shutting down a bunch of unannounced products. They have like 17,000 employees and there's going to be a big chunk of them they're having to let go. They have said that all of their current and announced stuff, they don't see anything getting cut from that regard, which is great. But they did mention that there's like multiple unannounced projects and even some, I think, small studios that are going to be getting sunk by this because they just lost so much value, which is so unfortunate because they just picked up a bunch of super interesting cool IPs, including Deus Ex.
Yeah.
So, I mean, literally, there could be a Deus Ex project that's getting axed because of this floundering financial catastrophe that happened behind the scenes. And I don't even think anyone to this day knows, at least they're not being public about it. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hold on. And thank you for the clarification. The deal value was unknown. It would have generated 2 billion profit for the company, and they had to change their projected income. So that was
Got
what
it.
they made them lose so much money. It wasn't the value that the deal was valued at 2 billion. It's that they had to change for their investors how much money they were going to make. And that apparently is why they were like, well, screw this. I'm going to go put my money somewhere else.
Yeah, we're gonna go somewhere else. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Good.
We're talking about
clarification.
Embracer Group, which is not a studio. They're like a umbrella company that owns many different
Conglomerate,
studios.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
whatever they are.
it's not even a publisher. It's like just a big group of owned studios and stuff.
Yeah. What else was there? Final Fantasy 16 on that topic is going to get a pre-release update, a day one patch, even after saying that they weren't going to do this. It's going to be fixing a control flag issue, which can make progress impossible under very specific circumstances. An issue wherein the game could close unexpectedly under very specific circumstances. They're optimizing performance in several places and fixing some minor text errors. It'll be about 300 MB, and they are, quote, very sorry for that. So when you boot up Final Fantasy 16 on Thursday, expect a 300 MB download for the full game. That was that thing. Alan Wake 2 is apparently going to be around 20 hours. They came out and made that statement. What else is there? Nintendo Direct is happening tomorrow. It's 7 a.m. Pacific. It'll be a 40-minute Nintendo Direct. They said focus mainly on Nintendo Switch titles launching this year, including new details on Pikmin 4. I will not be live covering that. I don't know if either of you will, but I will not be up at that time. I'm going to be asleep.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna watch it when you go live?
I'll probably check it out on Thursday. Yeah, I'll probably check it out on Thursday for some like trailer time. I'm not really a Pikmin
You're gonna do
fan.
that even with Final Fantasy? Huh?
Yeah, because it'll be tough, but I think Final Fantasy is the type of game where unless you're in the top of the directory or top 3 or 4 in the directory, viewership will be lower than normal because people want to play it for themselves. Story specific game.
Fair.
So the viewership bump from like a trailer time will be welcomed. So I'll do that first on Thursday, most likely. If I can, that's me now. 48 hours from now, I might just be like, oh, these fucking review scores are crazy. I got to jump in. I got to play. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. What else was there? We were talking about Chrono Trigger remake. There was a report that came out this morning, where Square Enix staff have apparently been asking the Final Fantasy brand manager about a Final Fantasy VI remake internally. He was asked the question during an official roundtable discussion celebrating the 35th anniversary of the Final Fantasy series. The brand manager responded and said, quote, I think Final Fantasy VI remake would be difficult. Final Fantasy VII remake is not yet finished, so I'm not able to think about it. But for Final Fantasy VI, there are many Final Fantasy VI fans inside the company, and they often ask me, when are we making 6? So that would be kind of a cool thing if that ever got remade. I would be in there day zero. I think a lot of people would as well. I guess it depends on what that looks like. If it's like a 2.5 3D thing, if it's a full 3D thing or what. But there's also other games they can do. 9, I think, has been rumored for a remake for a very long time. Tactics, I think, is another one that's been asked about from the community for a very long time.
Still never played that one.
Tactics is great. You would did they
love for them to remake it?
Did they re-release that, or maybe they did something with it. I forgot what it was though. They've released so many games so many times that I forget often what they've done for all that stuff. What else in terms of post SGF news? Do you guys know the latest on the Microsoft Activision Blizzard thing? Because
Last I heard, it was blocked again somewhere else.
yeah, I only know a headline that I just read, and it's that it's been temporarily restrained from buying uh, the company, according to a judge. That was 7 days ago. Was that? Yes, that was the FTC who filed a complaint last Monday, seeking to get the restraining order and a preliminary injunction.
Oh,
The court agreed to that restraining order while it considers that injunction. So, don't know what's going on with that.
so random bit of news.
Hit me.
Ascendant Studios, you know them?
I
They are the ones
think.
that are coming out with that Immortals of Aveum,
Yeah.
that kind
Okay.
of first person. Yeah, apparently they just delayed
The
from
game.
July. Yeah, the game. They recently delayed from July 20th, pretty good release date, to late August.
Okay. Well, that game's DOA. That's
Yeah.
a rough period to put a game out in.
Tuesday, August 22nd. Mm,
Nice.
that's that studio's first game too.
Ooh, that's okay.
Isn't that like the day before Armored Core 6?
It's
When's Armored Core 6 again?
A lot of stuff. That whole period
Yeah.
is crazy packed. So there's a lot of things there that it will be potentially.
That's
up against.
unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah,
A
that
week
really is.
before Baldur's Gate 3, 2 weeks before Starfield, the day before Armored Core. Hope the campaign's like 6 hours. Maybe I'll beat it.
Yeah.
But like, it's gonna be, and hopefully Armored Core doesn't come out early. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
We'll see. I think that's it in terms of gaming news, at least that I saw. There was that Diablo 4. Did you watch that Diablo 4? What do they call it?
Fireside.
Fireside chat.
Fireside chat.
I watched
did. I
it.
watched all of it.
I thought it was the content was whatever, and we could talk about the patch changes and all that stuff. I just love the idea that that thing exists to begin with.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It was,
I
it was great.
think that one of the biggest bits of feedback, which sounds initially off-putting, but then when you think about it, actually was pretty great. Because I remember somebody in my chat during it being like, "Man, this looks so unprofessional," and I was like, "Yeah, it does."
It's great.
Because they're not professionally, like, they're not streamers, they're not content creators, like, they're just like the devs. Like, granted, Adam, Pez Radar, he was, always kicking ass and being, because he's a PR guy, but the other guys were just kind of there and talking about the game. And yeah, of course, there was some, PR stuff, like, but a lot of it was just them discussing stuff. Like, you could tell it was so casual that there was like a serious 2 to 3 minute discussion on what was actually in the game and what wasn't. Like, they were like no, that's in the test bed. Wait, is it this, or how do you do it? No, it's in the, we already have it in the game. It's in the testing.
Yeah.
It's like, which was kind of fun. But no, it was good. Like, there was a lot of good information that came out of it. I enjoyed it. It reminded me very much, and I don't think this is a coincidence. It reminded me very much of a Warframe dev stream.
Yeah.
And considering that Pez Radar came from there to work at Blizzard, like, I very much wonder if he was one of the impetuses to make that whole thing happen. Because it was a good watch. It was fun. The
Yeah.
Q&As were good too. A lot of good questions in there.
Dude, I thought it was, I agree with everything you just said. And even more so, I thought it was awesome when they did the Q&A segment, and they were like, by the way, these are real people in our chat. You can look up the usernames. That had nothing to do with us. Don't blame us for all that shit that happened. And I thought it was great.
I'm not going to lie.
It was so funny.
After the Q&A session, somebody in my chat said I searched for every name and couldn't find one of them. I don't know if he was just one guy.
Wow.
I don't know if he was just one guy, but I have to admit
a couple
that
of them, I thought.
But I thought that was kind of, the whole thing was, I mean, who cares?
Yeah, who cares
Like,
ultimately?
it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
such a non-issue at the end of the day.
I love that they were so, that Adam was
They were very,
you could tell that they were like, why the fuck is this the discussion? Why is this the conversation around our fucking game? It's some stupid. Oh my God. You could tell they were pissed off about that.
you could tell they were pissed off, but I also love how they just addressed it head on.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
Next time, Adam's just gonna like throw the cards up and be like, "We're just making them up.
We're
Who
just making
cares?
stuff up.
Like,
Yeah.
they're all my questions."
Yeah. That's good.
Oh
That's good.
man.
And then like D4 in general, I don't know, Co, are you still playing? Have you dropped off? It's in a weird limbo
I
period right now for like people like us who play games for a living, ultimately.
Yeah, like I think, today there was a tweet from Lyric that I kind of felt in my bones.
Yeah.
I think he said it pretty well. And instead of Lyric, a huge variety streamer on Twitch, instead of if just paraphrasing, Diablo 4 delivered from cinematic reveal years ago to release, characters, environment, sound design, abilities, all so good. But now that I'm level 80, they played it way too safe. It's unfortunate it follows the re-level every season path and didn't try to expand the game further in endgame instead. This game would have been so much better IMO if it had more things to do than the dungeon grind spam. If they expanded the game in Lost Ark ways, the incentive to continue would be way higher. I may not necessarily super agree with the last line, because I think that Lost Ark did some cool stuff, but also that was like an MMO and it had very MMO endgame, which I don't think Diablo needed. But I totally agree with the fact that there needed to be more fun things to do at endgame.
Yeah.
I played like what's interesting is basically after you complete the main game, it is quote unquote end game, but there's a couple tiers you have to work through and gear levels to work through. But I definitely got to a point where I finished a Helltide and was just kind of like, I don't really need to do those again. And then I did like a bunch of nightmare dungeons and was just kind of petered out there. They weren't different and interesting enough to kind of keep me going. So here's the thing. I had a great time in Diablo 4. Still loved every second I spent in it, but I'm kind of ready for season 1.
I think, yeah, I'm right.
That's my thing. I'm ready for season 1. In fact, they said the next fireside chat is going to be all about season 1
in early July.
and,
Yeah.
and I am very much looking forward to seeing what they're planning to do. I'm hoping that it will be a lot of the stuff that Lyric was talking about. I'm hoping that it'll be like new fun things to do and more interesting side content, and maybe there'll be some more Helltide kind of stuff. And they've got to put their best foot forward, we hope, with their first season to let us know, like, yeah, we're serious about this. We're not just tacking on stuff to get you to pay us more money. Like, these are going to be sizable, real things you're going to be getting. So yeah, I'm at this point, I'm pretty much done with it. I'm looking forward to season 1. I may play it a little here and there just to work on Ancestral. But I've done everything multiple times at the end game. I've killed every world boss 5+ times a piece. I'm just, I'm good. I'm good.
Yep.
Had a great time, but I'm good.
I hit I think 87 last night. It was very much the game of like, don't know what to play right now in this moment, guys, so I'm just gonna jump into Diablo 4. And it was great for that. It's a great just jump in and do whatever type game. And I'll probably continue to do that.
Oh, little interesting thing. Shroud replied to Lyric and said, I think the idea is the re-level path will constantly be changing within seasons and eventually will lead to a more fulfilling endgame experience. What might seem like a problem now could very quickly change. And then Adam Fletcher responded to Shroud
That's Pez
and said,
Radar,
this is
the game
pretty
manager.
Pez Radar, what's his official title? Global Community Development Director for Diablo.
There you go.
Yes, this is pretty spot on. This is just the beginning, and the game will evolve more and more going forward with each season. The team has a ton planned, looking forward to it and hearing more and more feedback coming from the community. Cool.
I hope that's right.
A lot of copium, obviously, that's his job. His job is literally to market copium.
He's
That is
the
what
chief
is
copium
paid to
officer.
do by Blizzard. He is chief copium distributor, Adam
Oh,
Fletcher.
yeah, CCD. There you go.
And he does a great job.
Yeah.
He's a great dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, that sounds cool. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
So
hope so.
Yeah.
Zeke, did you ever jump in? I know you were kind of on the fence about D4.
Not yet.
Okay, you haven't jumped in yet? Gotcha.
Nope. I'm still, god damn it. There's still a couple of games that are taking up my time. Like, god damn, that War Tales is a long fucking game, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's still fun.
Yeah.
It's still fun, but there are so many fucking hours in that game. It is crazy. Like, and it's just fun enough to keep me playing. It keeps it like, you tap the feeder bar and they give you just enough of a food pellet. You're like, all right, I'll tap it again.
Sure. How many hours do you have logged in it?
I don't even want to say.
Oh God. Okay.
It's a crazy amount on Steam, but it's one of those games that I just leave on. So like, I don't know exact amount, but over 100.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, what else have you guys been playing? I guess we can jump in.
Why don't you guys talk about Final Fantasy demo? and I'm gonna go pee.
Okay,
We could.
I mean,
I don't have too much to say on
I
it.
don't really have much to say on
Oh.
it either. You can go to the restroom
Okay.
though, by all
No,
means.
no,
yeah.
he can't.
He
No,
can't.
indie days, go for the rest of the time. Let's go, Zeke.
Okay,
You're just
okay.
gonna have to
Well,
sit
let's
there
run
and
down the
take it.
list. Let's see what I played. All right.
Go to the restroom,
Go ahead, man.
Zeke.
Okay, let's
we got
see.
plenty
I
of stuff to
played.
talk about.
I played It's Only Money. I played Only Up. I played Wizardry School.
Oh, Only Up. That's a big game on Twitch. Go to the restroom. We'll talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
it afterwards. I want to
Yeah,
hear about
okay.
Only Up. Yeah, the demo came out. It's very interesting to like. I can't think of a game that has had a demo come out that has had as big of an impact as that demo has had. I've seen there's so many like just people saying like, yeah, I wasn't really in. I played the demo. Now I bought that game immediately. They saw streams of people playing it. Like, yeah, I wasn't really in. I saw that game being played. Now I'm 100% buying it. I bought a PlayStation. I got the Final Fantasy XVI bundle for a PlayStation, blah, blah, blah. And then like, I just saw countless articles of like, yeah, this demo is like a masterclass in marketing and blah, blah, blah. Like they're getting universal praise for putting the demo out. And to be
Also-
fair, it was a really good demo. Like it was really
It
good.
not only is it a fantastic demo, but it showcases a lot of the core mechanics, ends at such an incredible part.
Yes.
And most importantly, I guarantee you, and I would almost be interested to know from chat how many people that this was what rolled it over for you. Brilliant move for it to carry over to the live version.
Mm.
Because so often people don't want to touch demos because they either know they're just going to spoil it and they're going to have to do it all again in the live version and stuff like that. But the only reason I streamed it was because I knew, like, okay, I'm picking up the second from this ends, like back into the live. And yeah, I'm seeing in chat so many people right now we're saying that's why they played it too.
Yep.
And it's kind of like that's just smart, man. That's really, really smart. Like it's wild how few companies do that. Granted, it's not easy to do generally because you basically have to release a vertical slice of your game,
Right.
and then stand behind it. So like that was a brilliant move. Yeah, it was really good.
Yep. Yep. Combat was fun. They even included like after you finish the prologue, there's like, and I didn't play it, but
Mhm.
because
I
I
didn't
wanted
either.
to like see all that stuff on my own and
100%.
discover it all. But it's like they basically like level your character up and you get access to more abilities, I think is what it was. And you run through the same combat arenas with just different mobs, I think is how it.
I want to explore all that myself. I
Same,
don't want to see
same.
any of that.
I didn't see any of it from people that played it. They said it was great and they're super excited about the system. Combat wise, and like demo wise, I thought it was great. It was, they weren't kidding. Like it's a very dark game. I think all Final
Oh,
Fantasies
God.
really, when you look at the story content, are dark, but like
This
the
one
Game
was
of Thrones,
overtly dark.
yeah, the Game of
This
Thrones
one didn't try to
comparisons are not
hide
lost.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. This I felt like this is one of the first ones that kind of like made a lot of that stuff surface level. They
Yes.
they didn't try to hide it or obfuscate it in any way.
Yeah.
And I think that leads hugely the impact that it had, which was a lot.
Yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, just like you said, there's a lot of really dark themes that happen in the others, but a lot of it is like either inferred or may not happen on the screen and stuff like that. Like it's kind of like that inferred level of that, but this one just puts it all right there for you to deal with right in front of you.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at this 3D ad that's in Tokyo. These things are kind of cool. I just wanted to see what they did. But you're 100% correct. Very excited for it. I think I hope it does well, right? Like there's a weird part of me that's like always cheering Yoshi P on, and wants him to succeed.
He's just a great dev,
Yeah,
man.
he just
Absolutely.
seems like really,
He's just a great dev.
really good dev, really good guy. And
A very passionate dev.
yeah,
which is-
100%. And Soken as well is right there. I'm always sharing him, the game composer, the music man, as it were. And the music was a standout from that demo. And we only got like maybe 4 or 5 different bits. So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to reviews tomorrow to hopefully sing the praises of the game. And then Thursday we'll jump in with the rest of the world. Should be good. Zeke.
Yo,
I know you're playing Q Remastered. I played a lot of that on my subathon. That game's
it has
a hell of
been
a
my,
fucking game, man.
dude, it's been my go-to. Like, you know, I like if I have like an hour or half an hour left of the stream or of my normal stream time or whatever, and I feel like I don't want to shut down the stream yet. That's been my go-to. Like I used to do like that Kingdom game, and then I used to use your words. Now it's been just Q remastered and just like trying to beat the levels, and it's like it's a backseaty kind of game, but like it's hard to backseat.
It's
You
very
know,
hard to backseat.
unless there's like a super like easy trick that you're just not seeing. It's difficult like to see like, okay, because a lot of them are it's a physics, it's all a physics based game, and it's just, you know, do this goal on this square, and the only thing you can draw whatever you want, but the lines are super thick, and once you let go of the mouse there's gravity. And it's just a, I love it because it reminds me of like Scribble Knots and stuff like that, where you can the only limit is like what you can think of to how to finish the game, you know.
Yeah.
And this is not me drawing, by the way. This is
a Steam demo.
yeah. This is a Steam demo. Yeah, of the game.
Yeah.
And this is basically it. Like take that pink ball out of the cup. That is your goal, and you have to figure out how to do it with like you drop stuff, or you have leverage, or you know, like that, like a swing, a pendulum, something like that. Yeah, and it's so much fun to when you figure it out. You're like, oh shit. And a lot of times it is a super easy answer, like this particular one, to get the ball out of the cup one. Once I figured out how to do it, I was like, man, that is way fucking easier than I was making it. And that happens all the time in this game. And it's such a simple idea, but it's so enticing because they have so many different levels and different like goals and stuff. And currently, if you play the game or watch JP play it, I'm on the turtle.
Yeah,
and there's a giant turtle,
remember the turtle
in the middle of the screen, like the Blade Runner, you know, Voight comp test. Like there's a tortoise on its back. How do you get the tortoise on its feet? And it's fucking wrecking my brain right now. And it's like I've tried so many different things, and like it's a lot of it is like, okay, I feel like I can get it if I can get this thing to swing properly, or you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just a really fun time waster. And I mean, I say time waster because obviously there's no story or anything. It's just puzzle after puzzle after puzzle, and I'm into that shit. So yeah, it was great. Q Remastered is the name of the game, and how much is it?
$8. It's
$9.
Yeah. There's 1,200 levels in it. It's worth it. Like
1,200 levels.
It's crazy. God. Yeah.
And that seems like they're lying about that, but I mean,
no,
with a simple concept like that, there probably is.
Yeah.
And I think I don't even know how many I've completed.
I've done maybe 200, maybe.
Let's see. There's 20, 40, 60, 80. I've done 100, and it looks like 111.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's a hell of a game. Really,
Yeah.
it's such a simple game, and I think Ko's played it on stream as well.
Yeah,
If you ever
a great time with
it, it's.
I played it while drinking. Do not recommend.
That's not. I played it while severely under sleeping. I do not recommend that either. Man,
Makes
nor
the old
yeah, nor do I recommend playing it with a friend and having only one person being able to draw and trying to explain to the other person exactly what you want them to draw. Gassy Mexican.
Oh, was that how you guys did the co-op?
Yeah,
Was only one person can draw. Okay.
God,
makes the old brain pan hurt.
that was a fucking mess as well. We got agitated at each other. It's a lot of fun. It's $8 if you're looking for a game you can literally jump into for 5 minutes and then just close it and do that 1,200 times.
Yeah,
it's worth checking out.
Yeah, it's one of those modular games that you can just keep coming back to if you have a few minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I think it's on mobile, but I'm not positive. But I think it is.
It totally could be. Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely like a bathroom game if you're that kind of person.
Yep. It's really good. One of the other things that's kind of been blown up this past week, Zeke, you mentioned it. You played on Indie Saturday. Is a game called Only
Yep.
Up. This is kind of getting over it esque on
Oh,
Twitch.
very much so.
Yeah, and
Dude,
it's
my
all the big
numbers
streamers.
shot up
Yeah,
when I put that as my game title. I had no idea like the following of this game. And yes, it's very much like
let me get that.
getting over it. It's like Jump King
Yeah.
in the same kind of vein. It's like one mistake and you go back a long way, and people are just on the edge of their seats watching you play this. And what makes it and it's unfair because what makes it like difficult is not necessarily like that it's 3D platforming. It's that it's the controls are not precise. It's floaty. It's kind of quirky on how like the grab and pull up mechanic works, because sometimes it'll like the collision of it'll like you'll jump too high and hit your waist when you need to hit like, you know, your nipple level or whatever to like do the vault.
Yeah.
And you'll hit your waist and you'll like rub off the side and go "Wah!" and fall off, and you're just like, motherfucker, dude, really? It's like, I obviously nailed that jump. I am well within like, and you just go because the collision doesn't hit in, and then you're far enough away from it where it just goes and you just fall off, and you fall all the way down again. And in particular, fuck this section, because this section, it's just it's not super difficult, but you have to go slow on this one. I mean, you don't have to, but it behooves you to go slow on this one because of the curved pipe aspect of it. And it's just every time you fall down, you're like, God, I gotta do the fucking pipe section again. And you just gotta go up this spiral curved pipe surface, and it's just dumb. And it just like takes like this section of game like screeches everything to a halt. But I mean, once you get the hang of the controls and how floaty it is. Oh, speaking of controls, let's talk about camera. The fucking default camera of this thing. This is the player. This is the camera. You can move the camera to exactly where you want it, but the fucking default is 20 degrees off. So if you want to go straight, if you have the default camera on and you press forward, you'll go this way and you'll fucking fall off shit.
That's a choice, 100%.
That's
on
so
purpose.
dumb.
That's by design.
God.
Yeah, that's by design.
And this jump in particular, I don't know if this is the time, but this surface is so like it's more precise than any of the other surfaces because it's the top is round.
Yeah.
So you'll do the exact same thing that I was talking about. You'll jump and you'll go boop, and you won't catch the ledge, and you'll fall all the way down, and it's fucking dumb. But once you get the hang of it and you know what the game expects of you, meaning like you kind of like adjust for its quirks, it's way easier than getting over it, or it's less it's more getting over it. I could never get it. I didn't get it. I never got it because you control it with the mouse, and I never could fucking figure that out. This one is a little bit more accurate as far as like what you want to do and stuff. And yes, and to answer someone's question, did I try the bed? I tried it one time, and I actually bounced up to a higher level, and I was like, oh, that's what the beds do. I'll never do them again. So yeah, don't.
Yeah,
if
they're
you're
like
gonna play
skips.
this, just avoid the beds.
Yeah.
Because they're too dangerous to be worth it.
They're skips.
Unless you're a speedrunner. But all that said, this game, I mean, it was fun, and I probably will go back to it, you know, every once in a while to see how high I can get. But I did actually, like, I don't know, my fourth or fifth like true run, I guess, a run where I didn't die like in the first, sections. I got pretty goddamn far. Like if you added up the sections that I had made it to previously, I like 3 times further on my next run because I kind of got the mechanics, I kind of got the camera. Um, and I do like how in certain sections of the game they put new shit in there to fuck with you. So it's not just all climbing and stuff. There are certain sections of the game where they like they blind you on purpose, and even the announcer says like this is what people who are visually impaired, this is what they see, and it's just a big like lens flare in the middle of the screen,
Huh.
and you have to like navigate uh with that in your face the whole time. So I like that. I like that they add new challenge like mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The one other thing that I didn't like, and I'm sure like all this stuff is, I'm gonna say almost positively a choice by the developers. It is silent 90% of the time.
Oh, there's no
Like
game
there's
audio.
no music.
Oh.
I mean, there's game audio, like there's footsteps, like but it's like wind, like light, gentle breeze sound effects. The music is only in like very tiny sections of climbing. The rest of it is just super like lonely and solitary, and probably on purpose. And the reason why I say that is because you get to certain sections of the game and they're like, remember when dad left you when you were 4 years old and shit like that? They introduce like some heavy shit story elements to it, like you're not
Jesus.
expecting. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it doesn't mean that, your dad didn't love you or you're not loved or something like that. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're crushing my emotions right now. I'm trying to climb this thing.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, it's a very fun game, and I completely understand why it's a treat to watch for people, because it's edge of your seat the whole time. Like you could, I mean, save sections like this when it's an auto scroll and it just like tells you story and stuff. But once you start climbing again, it's any missed jump is a huge time loss, and it's edge of your seat the whole time. Like even playing the game, like when I got to this section, even though I was on the cart, it was my first time on it. So I was still waiting for a time when I had to jump to avoid like being
Had to
knocked
react.
off or something. Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, and then I got to this section, and you get to these platform sections, and you're just, and it's a huge, like you feel your shoulders relax a little bit, and then you take a deep breath, and then you're like, all right, onward, on we march.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really fun, but it's also like it's got mixed reviews on Steam, and I understand why.
I mean, it's an asset dump, right? Like
Yeah.
it's UE5, I think, and everything in the game is just from the UE5 asset store, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
Yep.
they just stack that shit up. And that's what you're climbing. Is all of that. I've seen some really. I haven't watched much. I've caught a handful of clips, but there's some crazy stuff later on. I think where like they make the floors invisible, and so you just have to guess like where the floor is or fall.
Yeah.
That type
Yeah.
of shit, and it's like a maze.
Oh, that's rude.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
really rude things to do
Yeah.
in these type of
It's
games.
it's trial and error stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's a little
the other
overrated.
thing, the other thing I would like to mention, and it's different than like there's a bigger difference than in other games of its ilk. You can choose different paths as you go up. They basically it's like this, and then two paths, and then they come back together, one path, and then two, or however many different paths, blah, 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 but they come back together at one point, and then you can choose which way you would like to traverse this whatever structure.
Yeah.
And I think that's very cool, and makes it a little bit different than the other games, because a lot of times in games like this, there's only like one real way to go. This one has definite branching paths. They lead back to a similar, like the same point. Everybody will hit these markers, but to get there in the middle, there's different ways to go. And that's
Yeah.
cool.
Cool.
Um,
What are they? What's only up charge?
it is $9.99.
Okay,
$10.
price is right.
Yep.
On Steam,
Yep.
right?
That's what. Yep, that's where I got it.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it's on anything
bad.
else. I didn't look.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So buttered noodles from the Steam reviews. Pretty concise, pretty good review of negative review, but this is pretty true. This game is the definition of content meant for streamers to have something to do for a day and then be forgotten in a month. The controls, while not great, are tolerable. True. But literally everything else isn't. The game is not optimized at all. Within the first 10 minutes, I'd re-triggered the same audio track at least 5 times. True. And the text-to-speech narration, also true. It's text-to-speech narration. Feels ridiculously cheap and only good for a quick laugh before then getting obnoxious. That is also true. Yeah. So that's a pretty good way to say it. But after playing it for, if you asked me in the first 15 minutes or 20 minutes of playing it, I would have definitely given it a thumbs down. But after half an hour, 45 minutes of playing it, I was like, all right. Once you adjust, it's not bad.
Cool. Yeah, it's massive on Twitch right now. I think that's the layover game or the in between game leading into Final Fantasy 16. So
yeah, no, I was like at 1300, and then I looked like right as I was about to finish, and I looked like 1700. Really, I went up that much? Jesus Christ! The people love this shit. This is bait.
yeah. Oh, it's 100% for your bait, without question.
Yeah.
Without question. I want to hear about Aliens Dark Descent, that came out last night. I saw.
Yeah.
I watched a review of it and was like, yeah, we might maybe that's a game we'll jump into tomorrow, or later today, I would say. But you did a sponsored stream for it.
Yep. 2-hour sponsor stream this morning.
Yeah. How is it? The reviews were kind of all over the place. I didn't actually. It felt like a game I had to play to really know if I was gonna like it.
Yeah, so it's fun. Let's go over it. So it's fun. It's not, I would say, AAA.
Okay.
Like there were some, pretty weird animation connections and corny baseline. The atmosphere though is pretty great, and the gameplay itself is actually pretty cool. So it essentially is kind of like it plays like an ARPG, but you have a squadron of people. And the reason I say that is because even though you generally have 4 or more people, you only move one thing around. And then like if you open a chest, like one of your members will go off and loot it, or you can do like multiple things at once.
Huh.
There is a mechanic where each character has upgraded gear and stuff. There's a cover system and things like that. But the way that it works is like you walk around and try to avoid the aliens. You're accomplishing objectives while you do it. There's like a whole bunch of mechanical and interesting systems that kind of like, increase how many aliens you're having to deal with. They can hunt you and things of that nature. Like I said, there's a seemingly full gear system. There's a full ability system as well. You get these things called command points, which you can then use like shotgun attacks and covering fire to slow them down and things like that. The environments are pretty. There's a cool flashlight mechanic where, in fact, I think I figure out right here in this area where if you do the flashlight by holding left mouse button around, depending on what Marine is closest, they're the ones that use their flashlight. So I'm doing on the top there, and then I go to the bottom, and the bottom guy's doing it, which is kind of fun.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's lots of little stuff like that that's just kind of interesting. You can see there when you move, there's only one movement line because you're even though you have a unit of people, it's not like XCOM where you individually control each person. You're just the unit, and that is your character. It is the whole unit. So it's been cool so far. There's some light base building stuff, it looks like, but that is kind of XCOM-y in terms of how it's managed. I did look at the upgrade pass, and I have to say they looked very lackluster. There was only like, I think 13 to 15 kind of like item upgrades total, which maybe I just didn't get to more of that, which I'm hoping, because that seemed a little shallow. But excuse me, the game overall was fun. I did like the aliens story. The whole weird thing that's going on, I don't want to spoil it, but the whole like premise of it is fun and very aliensy. I think that fans of the franchise will probably really like it, and I definitely had a good time with it. It came out at a weird time because like not only do I have some other sponsored stuff coming up, but it's also Steam demo days, and I'm ripping through like 5+ different demos a day and really enjoying that. So I'm a little hesitant to kind of lock down to one game currently, but it's definitely the kind of thing that I would put some serious streams into if I had more time.
Cool.
I may return to it still.
Yeah. I saw the one review I watched from ACG said that uh, the like the beginning of the game is actually the worst part because as it advances, you start to just unlock more and more stuff. And as he did that, he enjoyed it so much more in the back half of
Yes.
the game than the front half of the game.
I
And
could totally see that, absolutely, and I only played it for a couple hours, and I was starting to unlock, like, a bunch of extra new stuff. The tutorial is basically the first, like, hour to hour and a half,
okay,
and even arguably now 2 hours, and I'm still getting some, like, tutorial-y stuff, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, cool. I wanted to see are the aliens cool?
It's
Like,
yeah, aliens are cool, there's facehuggers, there's,
oh, here we go.
drones, I mean, there's obviously other stuff going on as well.
Sure.
Gary?
Yeah, over that was Barry, yes, Barry is also in the game.
Gary?
Um, but yeah, it's been fun overall. It's definitely what I definitely plugged into, and what was very interesting is not only is it a completely different take on Aliens. I'm so used to it being, in just kind of first person shooter kind of stuff, but the game itself, like the control method and what you were doing, like it at the very beginning of the game, for instance, you play like one person, and it's basically like an ARPG for the first 30 minutes as you're running around and stuff.
Huh.
And
Okay.
then even the game itself feels kind of unique in how it plays because of the single control scheme that you have.
There
So
we
like
go.
right here, when an alien pops up, for instance, everyone just starts automatically firing at it. You can hold down space to do abilities, which slows down time. You can walk while you fire, which is kind of fun. There's like a bunch of different weapons and stuff you can use during them. So yeah, man, it's a pretty freaking solid game, to be
Okay.
honest. I had a good time with it. Fully voice acted as well, outside of like audio or diary logs and stuff,
Yeah.
which was good too.
Someone in my chat wants to know if you tried controller or was it mouse and keyboard only?
No, I used mouse and keyboard,
Okay.
for top-down games like this, not isometric because it's 3D, but for top-down games like this, the controller felt or excuse me, the mouse and keyboard felt really good. The one thing I will mention that it's the kind of thing where when you noticed it, it just stuck out like a complete sore thumb, is I was really like, the game is very pretty, and you are constantly like I was having fun, like, RP walking everywhere. But the problem is, like, the lead guy in your squad shouts at you like you're running to or from aliens the whole time. So I would be like walking quietly through this area, and then I'd click and he'd be like, move, move, move. And I'd be like, okay. And then I'd kind of click again and he wouldn't say anything. And then I would click to go into a room and he'd be like, double time. And my guy would be like,
Just is there an alien here?
just kind of walking in. And it's just like, I really feel like they should have recorded some like normal volume barks for that stuff. Like some, like, hey, move in this way. Let's move. Like not necessarily screaming at you to get sprinting, because it's a very awkward dichotomy that he's yelling at you the whole time as you're just like slowly walking through this area.
Did you already go over like the gist of the plot?
Not really. I feel like the plot, it's again, it's kind of standard aliensy stuff, but I
Okay.
don't want to spoil it. What I will say is what you find out in the first little bit, where obviously aliens are not where they're supposed to be, and they're causing
Surprise.
all kinds of a ruckus,
Wow.
and you are trying to figure out and deal with the situation. And there's of course a lot more to it, but you kind of find that out
Okay.
as the story progresses.
Yeah.
Would you say it sounds like it's like a par for the course kind of a story. It's not bad, it's not great. Would you say that's true?
I would say so far in my first 2 hours, it has been a
Yeah.
relatively standard aliens arc.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's nothing that's really happened so far that have made me gone like, "Oh, damn." Like there was like a couple particularly cool scenes that I think are interesting, but at the same time they're scenes specifically to, like cause certain game mechanics to happen and such. So it's kind of like, I get it. It's a really cool scene, but I get it.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know
I
how
I don't
much. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know how much it changes. But yeah,
Well,
it's been a good story. It hadn't been bad. It's been absolutely fine so far.
it seems like it's in the Aliens, the second movies era. Is
Mhm.
that right? Because
That is
the
correct.
Alien movies span pretty far.
It
So
is
it is second,
actually
like
Aliens with an S, Dark Descent.
okay.
So,
Okay.
and as we know, the plural is indicative of, certain things in that universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that yeah. All right. Cool.
Gives you a little bit of a time frame for it. Yeah.
Got
Cool.
it. Got it. Yep.
Oh, here we go.
It's
This is so like you can actually slow down time like this and like do abilities.
oh yeah, that's what I saw in
You
the
can have an
review. Yeah.
option to pause it, which is interesting, and that's off by default. It actually that was a tutorial, so it paused it, but most of the time it just slows it down. So there's like a reactionary component to it as well, or you can just have it pause and take your time if you'd like to do that kind of an
Okay.
accessibility feature.
It's good. Yeah, cool.
Well, when you say it's 20 years after Alien 3, that's what most people are saying. 20 years after Alien 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Timeline wise.
So a little bit further on, a little bit. I don't remember how
Little
long
further.
she was floating in space after 2,
Yeah. There.
but I think it
Just
was like a couple
also
hundred years. I thought.
for the
Sorry.
record, at this point in it, there has not been any like iconic alien stuff. It does seem to be a relatively like standalone adventure. You don't. What I'm saying is that you don't necessarily need to have seen the movies to be able to immediately get into this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like it's picking up right after a major movie event.
57 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 60 years after the events of Aliens.
Okay. What's what's it cost? Is that $60?
Let's see. It
40
is based
bucks?
on a franchise. It's 40. It's 40
40?
bucks,
Okay,
which
that's
I would say is a for it, especially if there's some serious time in this, like 10 to 15 hours kind of thing, maybe even longer. I'd say it's a fine price for it.
cool.
It's made by Tindalos Interactive, which has made it looks like
I think they made one
that's
other
weird.
game in the review that I saw, but it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, that's strange. I clicked on Tindalos in the new Steam, and it took me to Focus, not Tindalos.
Oh, it
So
took
I'm
you to
not
the
sure how that
publisher
works.
website?
Maybe they changed that. Yeah,
I don't know.
but I was not familiar with these guys, but they seem to have done a great job.
They made Battlefleet Gothic Armada. Is what someone in my chat
Oh
saying.
yeah, okay. Heard good things about that game, but unfortunately, that was during the kind of shotgun approach to the Warhammer
40K.
IP.
Yeah,
So
40K stuff.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. That's Aliens Dark Descent. I won't spend much time on it, but I will say if you're looking for something to play and you bought Elden Ring once upon a time, I jumped into a randomizer run.
Well, the randomizer. Yeah.
Man,
Do you like it?
I'm at the I put 30 hours into that run. it's man, I don't know if you guys knew this. Elden Ring's a really good game. And if you start up another run of Elden Ring,
Is it? I heard it was overrated.
if you put another game of Elden Ring in front of me, I'm going to have to play that. And so I put, I think 30, 35 hours into it. And the randomizer is just great. I had to do 2 different seeds because the first seed that I did, like the tutorial cave the cave of knowledge, I think is what it's called. I spawned into the first one and there was like a guy, like a knight on a horse, which is fine, is the first mob. But the second mob was one of the hands from the giant area. And we were in a cave and I didn't have a single item. So I reset that because there's no way. I didn't even get the bonfire above, so I had to go forward. There was no way that I could go anywhere else except forward. I don't even know what the boss was in the cave at that run because the bosses were all
That
randomized.
is very unfortunate.
Yeah, so I reset it and I didn't do that. I walked outside. It was the best part of that game is you have literally no idea what's going to happen at any moment when you turn a corner, when you loot an item, and when you walk into a boss fight. And so like I walked into the first, the Margit fight, the Margit, however you want to say it, the first like big story boss, and it was a giant gargoyle, the gargoyle fight from Nokrin. And I was like, okay, this isn't that bad because all the HP values are adjusted to what the bosses would have at about that point in the game. So I start fighting the gargoyle and it gets to like 60% HP. And then a second gargoyle jumps into the fight on the bridge. And I'm just like, oh man, I gotta go. I gotta do Elden Ring and that's just leave and go elsewhere on the map and just get XP and find things to fight. Yada, yada,
Yep,
yada.
there you go.
Yeah. And so I got apparently a pretty lucky seed because I found the Star Scourge whatever weapon, the like giant 2-handed weapons that Rodon has is his weapons pretty early on. And so those kind of carried me through a lot of the fights. But It's very good. The randomizer is super easy to install. You have to play offline because I think it can get you banned if you load into an online save of that because it completely messes with the game. And so you play offline. But it's very easily just download the mod, click random, and then launch the game, and you're good to go.
Cool.
It's on Nexus Mods is where I found it. So didn't expect to do a full run of Elden Ring, but I did. I'm at the final boss. I haven't beaten it yet. The Elden Ring replacement. So when you fight a boss with multiple stages, like the final boss, where you fight one boss and then another boss after that, it gives you 2 random bosses. And so my 2 random bosses are Estelle for the first fight. If you know who Estelle is the giant, like bug-like god thing from the stars that hangs down that you fight in the very low. That's first.
The Astro Spider.
And he has the stats of that fight in the original game. So his HP value is skyrocketed, right? And then the second fight, which is the pain in the ass, is Malekith, which is a nasty, nasty fight when you have the HP of the Elden Beast. Right? It's just like, I couldn't beat him. I sat there like for about an hour trying to fight him, and it was not happening.
What kind of build do you use?
At that point, I was using a strength build, Star Scourge, whatever it's called. I forget the full name. It's just like a 2-handed sword. And I had...
Which one's Malekith again?
Malekith is the guy that you normally fight in the floating city, the cleric beast, the second phase of the cleric beast.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Dude.
Yeah. He's the final boss. He sucks. I hate that guy.
Yeah.
I hate him. I don't like him. He's got max HP, full HP, and the stats of like Elden Ring, or the boss. So not a fun fight. Not a fun fight at all.
Oh, so I didn't know that's how they did randomizers. I didn't know they adjusted their HP and stuff for where they come in the story.
Yeah,
that's neat.
I should know that either. Yeah.
Found Millennia.
I thought like you could like get to the end boss and it's like the first level, whatever boss, the first boss you beat.
Yeah, I did get.
I'm glad it's not that.
What? Who was it? It was a major story boss, and it was, like the first.
Are you talking about when Soda Poppin got Millennia as his like very first boss in Randomizer?
No. That was a thing, and then he got Elden Beast for the second boss. Yeah, that was a thing. But I fought. Captain Rick. Did you ever fight Rick? I fought so many things and saw so many things that I never saw when I played my game, which is.
I don't even know who Rick is. Is that just a guy named Rick?
Is
it like Rick from accounting?
It's Rick or Greg or some. It's some just like shitty soldier. I forgot what no, it wasn't Nile. I fought him twice. It was just like some very small, stupid soldier. And he was like I just went up and like hit him twice and he died. Maybe it was the soldier of Godric. Yeah, I don't know. Guard captain. I don't remember what it was. His tutorial boss, and he was like a major story boss. So
it was not. Funny. It was not Pickle Rick.
It wasn't Pickle Rick. No,
it's not Pickle Rick.
Millennia was in there. She was the.
Is it something you can miss if you 100% it? Because I'm sure there's shit you miss even if you 100% it.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah,
mostly for chat. That was a question mostly for chats.
I'm not sure. It's super fun. The randomizer is smart. Like it has logic to it. And so you can actually go in. Apparently someone did a run of Elden Ring where every boss and every enemy, including wildlife, was the fire giant. And it took them 7 hours to get out of the first cave because everything was a fire giant.
Okay.
Like, that's
wild. A thing.
It's crazy to think about.
So it was just like clipping through all of the environment and shit?
Okay. Giant fire giants just hanging around, clipping through all the shit. And people are doing that. The game is crazy when you start to mod it. It makes it a lot of fun. I had an absolute blast with it. It was like a 35-ish hour run. It was great. So I'm glad I.
But you said you didn't beat it?
No, I'm stuck on the final boss, the fucking Malekith. I couldn't beat him. I'm a little under leveled. I'm like level 120. And typically for last boss, I think you're like 150, 160. So might just have to grind it if I'm gonna finish it, but
Grinder or
get good. Yeah.
switch classes.
Yeah, I could go
I've-
switch classes.
I've heard from Twitch chat that getting good is probably the optimal way to do that.
Yeah.
If you've considered
I've
it.
tried.
You know?
I've tried. Trying to think like some of the I got real lucky in some places, and in other places I got really not lucky in terms of the random bosses. You guys remember the spire in the main city that you climb up the tree root to get to the fight? On that tree root was 2 ravens from Caelid and one of the giant dragons with the double set
like
of
that.
legs. And I
Nope,
was
don't
just
like
okay. So I like ran at the giant dragon, aggroed him, and then ran back. And he like waddled off and then just walked off the map. And then I just ran past all of the giant things, spawned into the boss fight, and it was phase 2 of Rickard in snake form from Volcano Manor. And I didn't have the sword, and so it gave me the sword. And so,
oh wow, okay.
And so I had to, in the middle of the fight, equip the sword and fight Rickard in phase 2 of the. Just some wild
That's
shit.
nice.
Yeah. And so like all of the items also spawn. You can put. It's smart in terms of it having logic. Like, if you need to get the key to go into Hogwarts or whatever the fucking place is called, the Magic Academy. Somewhere in that zone is the key, but you have no idea. You just have to literally kill every mob.
That's called Hogwarts.
Yeah. You have to kill literally every mob. And so it was a nightmare trying to find all that type of stuff. But it was fun. It makes it so if you've played that game before, it's completely new for a brand new run. And you can't go and be like, I'm going to go get this item and that'll carry me to this item. It's literally, let's see what this item. Okay, I guess I'm using this axe. I got an axe. Let's use the axe until something better is in front of me. So it's good. It's more Elden Ring at the core. I had a lot of fun with it. We got 30 minutes. You guys have played a lot of demos? Zeke?
I would like to, before we get to demos,
Yeah.
I would like to talk about possibly the greatest game of all time. And it's definitely one that I will throw into consideration from here on until I die.
Okay.
Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Oh, nice.
Game is awesome.
I didn't know you played that.
I played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance for the first time because I'm, casually making my way through the Metal Gear series, and that was the next one in release order. And that's how I'm playing them, in release order.
Sure.
And it was a complete departure from the other Metal Gear games in gameplay. In everything else, it wasn't strictly Kojima. I know he had a hand in it, but it felt like Hideo Kojima, like the whole time. It was ridiculous. It was hilarious. It was action-packed. It was fucking metal.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of Metal Gear Solid and Devil May Cry baby kind of stuff. Like if Devil May Cry and Metal Gear Solid had a baby, it would be Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. And it was fan-fucking-tastic. There have been Metal Gear games that were pretty good all the way through with really great moments. This one was awesome all the way through, except it was a bit shorter. So as far as putting it in the timeline of Metal Gear games of like favorites, it's hard to place this one because it's not like any of the other ones. There's no stealth. Like you can try, but like don't bother. That's not fun. And they kind of like don't reward you if you do stealth because then you avoid shit. You don't want to avoid shit.
Yeah.
It has the modular fighting of like a Devil May Cry or a Bayonetta, where it's like, all right, you're in the zone, time to fight monsters or whatever, time to fight mechs and cyborgs and shit. All right, good job. Here's your score. and they also have like fights you can miss and stuff like that. You have to like, if you want to get them all, you have to like backtrack, and they're like hidden fights and stuff like that. Like you don't have to do them to complete. So they have that aspect to it. One of my favorite aspects, and it's so weird that probably my two favorite Metal Gear games are not like main character Snake. Like 2 and this one are probably my favorite ones, and they are with this fucking dink, this goddamn fucking dummy douchebag, Jack
the
or
Ripper.
Raiden or the lightning. What was it? The lightning god?
Sure.
Was that what it was?
He calls himself a lot of
Sure.
names. It's
Oh
Jack
my
the Ripper.
God. Yeah, Jack the Ripper. Oh my God. How much fun did I have playing this and listening to him talk and change his speech when he was talking to someone who either was a woman or an enemy, where he wanted to appear badass. You could totally hear his voice change. I'm Snake, or I'm Raiden, the Lord of Lightning, or Mr. Lightning Bolt. That's what it was. Fuck, it was even worse than I was saying. Mr. Lightning Bolt. That's what it was. I'm Mr. Lightning Bolt, and you could hear him totally doing Christian Bale's Batman when he was talking to them. But when he was talking to the doctor, it was like this. You know, like someone who didn't have to be a badass in front of, and
This
it was
is all correct.
fucking hilarious.
It's all correct.
Oh my God. And okay, every single fight, like every single boss fight in that game, is fucking awesome. There wasn't a bad one in the bunch, and that is rare in any video game, let alone a Metal Gear game. Every single boss fight was a fucking blast. Was a hoot. And the music, goddamn, by far, the best music in the game, Snake Eater notwithstanding. Like that one song, notwithstanding, because that's a masterpiece and nothing will surpass that. But oh my God, the rules of nature, and Nano Machine, we finally got it. We've been saying it for 6 games, and I still hadn't gotten to Nano Machine Sun. And they've been saying it for 6 games in chat, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Finally we get there.
Nano Machine, son.
Quite possibly the best, most badassest boss speech, boss fight, just boss design in any Metal Gear game. The fucking senator from my home state of Colorado. Oh,
Yeah.
It's just so good. I just wanted more. That's all it left me with, was wanting more game, because it wasn't that long. Even for me, it was only 11 hours.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about. Were you playing on hardest difficulty by the way?
Nope.
Okay,
I was playing
yeah,
Not 11 hours, he wasn't.
yeah, that's why I was about to ask. Cause like, wow, that's really impressive. Cause man, I like the final boss fight, the Senator Armstrong, from a lore perspective. But dude, on the hardest difficulty, Zeke, that fight,
Yeah.
I've
heard.
I was breaking my fucking controller levels of angry. I was so upset when I fought. I was like, this game's fucking dog shit. It's the worst fucking shitty game ever. I just kept fighting them, getting more and more upset. It was great.
Well, they introduced like a mechanic in a couple, like in one fight previously, that you don't even have to do to beat the boss. Like, people had to tell me, like, all right, when you come to this boss, slow down, or you'll beat it and you won't get to the second phase. And I'm like, isn't beating it the object? They're like, no. It's way more fun to do it correctly and see the second phase, because there's music and lyrics and stuff like that you won't get. And well, there's also fighting that you won't get if you just beat it real quick without doing it the right way or whatever. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll do that. So I that one took me a couple of tries, but it introduced that mechanic of in the middle of the fight where you have to slice multiple things in one line. And that shit is way harder than it needs to be to get right.
Ninja mechanic.
Yeah. Fuck that. That shit, like in the final fight, if I played it on the hardest difficulty, fucking that part up would piss me off so much
I was so
because
tilted.
it's not like it is skill based, but it's a completely different skill thing that you've been, used to the whole game. It's like, stop. Now throw a dart in the fucking bullseye. And you're like, no, wait, no, I just want to fast combos and mash and kill. They're
Yeah.
like, no, you have to do this. And I'm like, fuck. And I was so bad at it. Can't imagine what it's like on the harder difficulties.
Oh god. I think Ko, you played this.
Hmm?
You played this when you did a Metal Gear like playthrough, right?
Somebody asked if I played this, and I did a fine playlist for it, and just
Was
wanted
it-
to see like what era I was in when I
Yeah.
played it. It was a while ago. I mean,
Can you roll that
it was.
clip back just like 20 seconds?
Okay.
I remember
Okay.
playing this game, and I remember loving this game. I thought it was phenomenal. But yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
I didn't notice this, but in the game, like when one of the things in the game, this right here,
I don't know what you're looking at.
when you're trying to
looking-
slice that red square, I noticed that like when I pressed the button, time like went forward a little bit, so I would miss those slices. So I'm gonna say this. Oh my god! Or it moves the
moves.
line of the
It
slice.
moves as you slice, like as you're holding the sword at different places.
So it
Yeah.
wasn't okay, because I could swear that it wasn't exactly right through my entire like. Usually, if you just slice right after, because okay, if you beat up an enemy enough, you can enter this blade mode, and in blade mode, you can if you slice at slice the red square, you basically pull out their spine. People called it Gatorade, like the blue Gatorade, and like crush it and then get like energy juice
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah.
But you have to slice it exactly on the red square. And if you don't slice it right away, a lot of times you have to like stop and aim it, and it would jump. And I just watched that clip and I saw it. Like it was right on the red square. And then when I sliced it, went whoop, it moved it. Fuck.
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy. Fuck's sake. Thank you for showing that to me. Because the whole time
That
I
was
was
the
like,
whole plan.
I am slicing right on that thing.
Well, I'm glad you got there. I'm glad you figured it out.
Thank you. That
all got there
that
together.
crushed my mind because I was like, I swear to God, something is wrong with this.
Yeah. It's a hell of a game. I'm glad. So what else do you have then in the Metal Gear world? 5?
I have, Phantom Pain is I think next up in release order, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that makes sense, yeah. God, that's a long we've talked about that before.
Good luck.
50,
Yep, good luck.
50 to 100-hour game, really. For a
Well,
normal
that's the
playthrough.
thing. And it counts for this for every single game that I will ever play on my channel. When I stop having fun, I stop playing the game. I will never ever promise that I'll finish a game.
Amazing.
Because if Metal Gear 5 becomes a slog or I start hating it, I will stop playing it.
It's got
I will try it, but
it's got the best gameplay.
that's what I've heard. Best
Yeah.
gameplay, longest game, spots of madness, but not anything to like similar to what 1, 2, or 3 or this game had. And
Yeah.
that is really disheartening to me, and it kind of like makes me a little apprehensive to play it.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you would go Ground Zeroes.
Ground
in
Zero,
5.
yeah. Ground Zeroes is the prologue, right?
Yeah. I think you'll actually like Ground Zeroes because it's 5, but short, but 10, 15 hours.
Yeah.
Something like that. So it's good. I forgot you played as this dumb fucking thing.
Oh yeah, you play as the little hand bot.
Yeah. The dumb little hand bot.
Fucking little did I know that during the hand bot section, there's shit only he can get, like collectibles only he can get or
Yeah.
it can get. And I can't, when you go back to being Raiden, I saw this little thing in this little corner. I'm like, I can't get that. You motherfuckers. How dare you?
That's how they get you. That's how the replays
Yeah.
begin. Cool. That's Metal Gear Rising: Revengence. Let's do demos here in the last 15, 20 minutes of the show because Steam Next Fest. Is that the right Steam demo days? What's the like
Next Fest,
marketing?
yep.
It's Next Fest. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's happening right now. And did they have this like? Did they have the system that they have now where it shows you the like most played demos by daily active demo players? Have you guys seen that list? Or are you just going
Yeah.
off? Okay. Was that
I
there the
look
last
at that all the
time?
time. I think there was, yeah.
Oh, okay. I
I want to
missed
say
it.
there were definitely lists that sorted by like wish listing and popular demos and things like that. So I'm pretty sure that was there last time, yeah.
Got it. Okay. I was not sure. Well, let's go through them. We'll just rattle them off as fast as we can, and I'll see if I can find footage of them quickly. Because I know you both have been playing them. What's the best? What's like the go-to demo for you guys, if there is such a thing?
Oh
Does one
man,
just come to mind?
Liza
uh,
P probably is the
Liza
one
P
with the
was
most hype
really
around
cool.
it.
Okay.
Gord was awesome.
I
Gord
remember
is
that.
like a rim worldy weird like RPG town builder thing. It's cool. It's very unique. Had a lot of fun with Gord. Tried One Lonely Outpost. That was a cool Stardew Valley style game. If someone's looking for that.
Okay.
Sea of Star.
Oh, you finally played it.
I played it.
Oh,
It's
wait, that means
so
it's out on
good.
PC. The demo is nice.
It is out on PC. The demo's out on PC. That one was a lot of fun. Little Guardsman was really cool. I think Zeke would probably like that one. Little Guardsman is basically Papers, Please, but it's like just a lot of stupid, dumb, funny comedy. That is in like an RPG universe, an RPG fantasy universe, which was really funny. I played Viewfinder a little bit, which was that game that where you have the
Yeah.
picture. Yeah,
This one.
that game. Yeah, dude.
Good.
This game is like too creative. Like it's awesome. Like just holding up the little pictures and activating them feels so good every time, and they always work. And what's
Huh.
also super cool about this game is it's obviously really easy to mess up, but there's just a rewind time mechanic. So it's like if you ever put something down in the wrong area or you put it, just something doesn't work properly, just rewind time and go from there. So oh god, I think I went. There we go.
I saw that on my
So
list and I
that was
immediately
fantastic.
I'm downloading it right now. Like
Yep.
When does this
because
fully
I did
come
a little
out?
bit of demos last week for the things that were shown on SGF. Next week, or excuse me, this week, Thursday and Friday, I'm going to do the demos for Next Fest.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it. When does this
Totally sold. Oh, go ahead.
Well, when does this launch? Do you know? Because I really want to. Q Remaster has created the puzzler.
July 18th.
July 18th. Okay, great. Because one of the goals was we're doing a puzzle day, and so like just gonna play a bunch of puzzle games. This will probably be on the list because it looks fantastic. Looks right up my alley.
Cool. The Invincible was awesome.
What is that? Let me find
Loved
that.
it. Invincible is that kind of retro futuristic game about visiting that derelict planet. That one was the graphics were great, the story was cool, the voice acting was on point. That one was nice. That one was nice. I had a really good time with that one.
Cool.
Did I try Warhaven? No, I'm doing Warhaven tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon. I'm doing Warhaven.
Oh wait, are you doing sponsor stream for that?
I think so, yeah.
I am.
I've been wanting to check it out, and they just pinged me on it. So I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's see how it is. That'll be my. You're doing it too, Zeke?
I think all
Yep.
three of us are doing it.
Oh, dude, are you all doing it?
They're doing a
tomorrow at
big
noon?
push.
I'm doing it tomorrow, but
No.
I have to do it later in the day.
Oh,
I think we're all going to
damn, I was
play
gonna
at
say
different
we could-
times. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, damn, we could play together. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Maybe if I like it, we still can. We'll
Okay.
see.
Yeah, if you're doing,
Yeah, but-
it'll be during your night stream when I play tomorrow. If you're still playing it for whatever
Okay.
reason.
If I'm feeling it, we'll kind of see how it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
going in cautiously optimistic. The game looks like
That's what
it's
I
just
am too,
dumb
yeah.
fun, but I've also heard not so great things about like some of the monetization and things like that. So we're gonna be exploring the whole thing on the stream and seeing if it's worth it.
Yeah.
Seeing how it is.
That's what I'm doing too.
No,
also check
they
out.
want
Oh,
to
go ahead.
do it tomorrow, but I'm doing something for the actual Xbox channel tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Playing Liza P on their slash Xbox.
Nice.
Really?
That's awesome.
That's
yeah.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
really
yeah,
cool. Like I
man.
had like they asked me for a reel. They're like, could you give us, because we heard you had hosting experience, could you give us a reel? I'm like, Yeah, hey Scott, can you make me like a 2-minute reel of me doing hosting shit? And I sent it
What
to
the
him, and they were like,
actual
"You look
Xbox
great. Let's
thinking?
get you on the Xbox channel." I was like, "All right, swell." So
Wait,
I'm doing
and you
that
showed
tomorrow.
him a
My
reel of
normal.
you?
Do you have that reel? Do you have that
I
reel
might have
where we
been.
could watch it, Zeke? I would really like to see the reel. If you could tweet that out, I think that'd be some
I
good
No,
will.
seriously,
content.
dude, that's amazing. I mean,
Absolutely.
you're an incredible host. This feels like one of the first times, like since the Twitch stuff, where people have been like,
Well, I thought it
"This
was going to
could,
be a hosting gig because they didn't tell me what it was
yeah,
for, and they were like, "Xbox wants to do something with you. You have a reel, or whatever." And I was like, "Sure." I sent it to him, and they were like, "We want you to play Lies of P on the Xbox channel." I was like, "So no hosting involved?" They're like, "No, just regular how you would normally stream a game." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, obviously I can do that."
Cool.
I thought I was gonna be like,
hell yeah,
"Hey,
man."
this is Ezekiel third for Xbox, and we're gonna be showing up, blah, 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 blah." Get my announcer voice on.
Yeah. Cool. That could. I mean,
Congratulations, man. That's big. That's awesome.
Xbox does continued work with a lot of their creators, so hopefully that leads into some other stuff for you. That'd be great. That'd be really
It's
cool.
actually
I hope I
interesting
don't have
because
diarrhea.
What's interesting, Co? Hey, Co, what's interesting? Please.
yeah. So I was gonna say it's kind of interesting because I think they're moving a lot towards that direction. But I remember specifically back for a certain company I'd worked with a lot in the past for a specific title, they actually contacted me and was like, "Hey, we want to do a bunch of sponsored stuff with you." And for this game coming out, because we know that you like the studio and that you're interested in the game. And I was like, cool. So like weeks went by, like negotiations and everything. And then right before, it's a little behind the scenes action here. I haven't actually talked about this. Right before we were supposed to send out the contracts and stuff, which is the final stage of this,
Yeah.
they contacted me and were like, holy shit, we're really sorry. We can't do this. And I was like, what?
No
And they were
reason.
like, yeah, so ever since we've been purchased by Microsoft, they don't do this stuff anymore.
Oh.
So that was kind of interesting. So it's interesting to see that they're now moving back towards like, yeah, we'll do this, but we'll do it under Xbox.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of interesting to see the direction they're taking with this, and that's even cooler that they're bringing Zeke on board.
Yeah.
Fantastic, but
Yeah.
yeah, this is it's very interesting, cool stuff to see them kind of getting back into this realm.
Yeah.
Sure.
What time is that tomorrow, Zeke? For people that were one to.
My
Yeah.
normal stream time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So yeah,
And
I
it's
will
going to
be on
be
there.
on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Yep. First 2 hours of the
Awesome.
day or of my stream. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Cool.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
good luck. Hope everything works out on that. Don't have diarrhea. As you said.
Yeah, please don't. That would be very
Take
unfortunate.
some some medication so that doesn't.
Don't do
happen.
that. Don't do that. So
Demos.
let's see.
What else?
So yeah, we did the Invincible One Little Outpost was fun.
What did you think of Liza P?
I thought it was fun. I thought it's kind of like it's I enjoyed the gameplay. It felt kind of Bloodborne-y at times. The dodge mechanic at the start of the game did not feel good. So I started focusing on parrying, and that started feeling a little bit better. Apparently, you can get like a double dodge later, where it gets to be like awesome. But once you start focusing on parrying, it was a lot more usable. I liked the world. I liked the enemies. I thought the story was very soulsy, where it's like they weren't really telling you too much, just kind of pointing you in directions and letting you kind of extrapolate out what was going on. And it was a long demo, which I really liked too. I thought that was great. They clearly are very confident in their product, which was cool. Oh, this is yeah. If you're ever wondering
this is
what
hard
hard
mode.
mode, if you're ever wondering what hard mode is on a game, it's having your 6-year-old behind you and your 4-year-old on your lap. It was very tough. They were, and I think even at one point, my youngest makes an appearance during this whole thing. But
Nice.
yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, I concur. Once you get the idea out of your head that this is not a dodge roll, this is more Sekiro combat style
positioning.
than Bloodborne or a Souls game. No, like the iframes, don't worry about the iframes. If you are in a boss fight or like that fight that Ko was doing, once you get it out of your head that it's like don't move out of the way, block or parry, then it becomes way better. Like the it's not even a dodge roll. It's like the Bloodborne jump back or sidestep. So
It's
it
not
has
a
it
dodge.
has that.
It's a repositioning mechanic. It's not like I don't even
Exactly.
know if it has iframes. If it does, there's like one.
Mm.
But yeah, and the thing is, and this is where it really clicked for me. In and I'm not super jazzed they did it like this because it kind of goes against every other game of its type. But like in all games, generally, the enemy powers up and starts glowing red, and that's the one you can't block, right? That's the one you have to dodge. And the enemies kept doing that. They would get super red, and I'd try to dodge and just get smashed, and it would happen over and over. And finally, the game is like, remember, when the enemy glows red, that's when you have to do a perfect parry. And I was like, oh mother, oh, okay.
Perfect.
So like that's what we got to do. Okay, so it has nothing to do with the an unblockable attack. Like it's literally you have to perfect parry it. So once you kind of get that in, it it was solid. I enjoyed it from beginning to end, and I'm looking forward to playing it on release for sure.
Sweet. Yeah,
Oh,
I
two
haven't
more
checked it
quick
out.
ones. I played the book. Was it the
Bookwalker.
book something? The Bookwalker. I played the Bookwalker. That game is
Played that one.
cool. It
What is
alternates
that?
between first person and like top-down ARPG. It's kind of like an adventure. I'd call it. It's kind of like an adventure game, but it's doing it. It takes a lot of mechanics from other games and does it in kind of a unique format. It's kind of like an investigation game, very light crafting, some light combat. Definitely a story that you follow. It's basically follows this guy in this alternate reality world who is like locked. He's in writer's prison essentially, and he has to like dive into different books
Huh.
and do certain things in them. And it's a very interesting, unique premise. And the demo definitely it was the kind of demo where you finish it and you're like, oh yeah, I'm ready for more right now. Let's keep moving, let's keep going. So that was really cool. And then another game, two more. I played Jasant, which was the
Oh
climbing
yeah.
game. I
Yeah.
think it's a French climbing game. That one was pretty cool. It felt almost a little quappy at the beginning, but then you realize that the controls have very much been streamlined, so it's really not that difficult at all. It becomes very intuitive by the time you
Wasn't
get
that a
towards the end of it.
VR game or it has a VR component? Or
I don't know.
is it first person?
No, it is a third person climbing
Okay.
simulator
Okay.
game thing.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different one then.
It's got like this whole pinion mechanic, and there's there's climbing and swinging and things of that nature.
Yeah.
It was interesting, but I have to say, like, it was very slow, and it was very like artsy, wishy washy. Like there was I felt there was very little concrete things going on in it. So I think some people love that stuff, kind of journey esque almost. Some people love that stuff, but with as many weird things that were going on, I was definitely wanting a little bit more concreteness by the end of the demo, which I'm sure the full game will probably offer. I'm guessing the game is an exploration of what actually happened in this world. So
Yeah.
and then finally, I played another demo that very much surprised me called and chat. I saw someone in chat link it earlier. It was I want to say it was Nova something. Luna Abyss. Luna Abyss. And this game was wild. It was like a combination of this very interesting weird world that had Returnal style first person gameplay with like a very heavy auto aim mechanic. But the graphics were really cool. The world was really cool. The mob design was really cool. Like I was very surprised by this game, to be
What was
honest.
the name of it again?
It's called Luna Abyss,
Okay.
and it was cool. I enjoyed my time in it for sure. Like it's a very very interesting looking game. That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
What
And
is
I
the
think that's it.
fucking deal, by the way, with all of these demos like taking like 10 to 20 gigabytes? Are you fuck you?
Well, Zeke,
Sorry, I just had to complain.
4K textures, I guess. I don't know. I don't.
I
I
would
don't.
yeah.
Couldn't tell you. I don't know why they're so big. Yeah.
No, I downloaded the worst offender of this is that Alone in the Dark demo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We
Oh
talked about
yeah.
that. Yeah.
God,
It's like
damn.
7
That was
minutes
hilarious.
and 30
It's
gigs or
like
something, right?
16. Yeah, it's something ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's literally like a 5-minute demo. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
I think we downloaded the entire freaking game, and they just like roped it off or something.
That sounds right.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, Final Fantasy XVI preload just went live and it's 90 gigs. So I saw a report that game almost was on 2 discs when it shipped, but they got it down to 1. So that's
Somebody told me it was going to be on PC on release. That's not right, right? It is PS5
it's
only.
PS5
right?
only, yeah. PS5
Okay,
only.
I thought so. All right,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right, just making sure.
Yeah. Co, I know you played this. We'll spend. It doesn't need more than a minute on it. BattleBit Remastered.
It was okay.
It was okay. Yeah,
It was-
right. Okay, great. A lot of
it was
people are
okay.
like talking about how this is like the Battlefield they
I
wanted
know.
and all that stuff.
Big friend of the show, Sacriel, has been preaching to the choir, or not preaching to the choir, just shouting to the heavens about how awesome this game is. And it's a cool game. It's a really cool game. It's got a lot of fun mechanics. But I mean, it basically feels like
But
you're playing
Sacriel is a
Roblox.
liar. Don't trust him.
No. He's not at all.
Don't
He
buy
is
his
just
game
somebody-
coming out.
In this case, it is definitely one of those games where you really got to be invested and focused on the mechanics. I mean, it looks like a Roblox mod or a Minecraft mod. I mean, it's very not super pleasant to look at, but the mechanics and stuff are super cool. The environments are destructible. The gunplay feels good. There are lots of very redeeming things about this game that make it very cool. And there's a reason that it's gotten a huge amount of popularity in the last little bit. So that was me just being like,
Oh,
what, I'm done.
So that's
I'm done with this game.
both you, me, Gassy Mexican, and like 2 other streamers I know did that exact same thing where it's like, yeah, Dad, I'm just gonna Alt F4. Thanks for watching, guys.
It's just not quite.
Yeah,
Not quite there.
yeah. I'm right there
But
with
it
you
was-
on the graphics. Like that's
It
that's
was
what's the biggest
it's a
detractor.
slick game, and I can definitely see why people, especially for the kind of person that just does not care about how it looks, I completely see why people were just awning over it.
It's got all the right stuff that you want in a Battlefield game.
All the right stuff.
I love the map
Absolutely.
voting. I love as a medic or really anyone you can grab someone's dead body and pull them into cover to res them. Like it's got really good things that hopefully EA and Battlefield are like, oh yeah, we should steal a lot of this stuff and put into our next game.
Not a demo,
Okay.
but if you like Vampire Survivors, I super recommend checking out Halls of Torment.
Oh yeah, I watched
I
Lyric
put
play
like
that.
multiple streams into Halls of Torment. It is basically like Vampire Survivors, but it's more of like a traditional class thing where each class has its own ability and like special stuff. There's a bunch of different stats and power-ups. There's a gear system, which is very interesting. So you can actually get randomized gear in the game. And then there's later on, you unlock an ability to like haul some of the gear out, and then you can permanently equip it on all your future runs. The way that they do the achievements and stuff is very cool as well. It's kind of got a Diablo 1 look to it, which is kind of fun. Movement is very tight in the game, so it feels a lot more meaningful, I feel like. Lots of opportunity for stacking and trying new things and upgrading abilities in certain ways. And it's just a great auto shooter. It's really cool.
Did
What's
they-
also fun. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no. I was gonna ask about a bug. What else were you gonna say?
So what's also really fun about this game is it starts with you aiming with the right control stick and hitting Y to attack. But then you can hit another button, I think it's RB, and then you can tap the control stick and it starts auto shooting and auto aiming.
Oh,
So it's a very cool, and then what's even cooler about that is when it's auto shooting and auto aiming, at any time you can rock the control stick any direction and you will start going shooting or doing certain things that direction. So it's very intuitive, it's very easy. Not really any spoilers, but this is what happens at the end of the 30 minutes. You actually don't just die, you fight a whole freaking boss encounter.
yeah.
Which is really fun. And there's things you can do during the round to like influence the boss fight itself. So it's fun, man. It's cool. And apparently it is like you look at the way that the achievements and stuff are designed. It is designed as a farming game. Like it is designed to do like the first level a bunch of times. There's achievements that there's no way you'll be able to do in one run on like the first level. Certain things and certain bosses unlock new classes, and the classes have completely different feels. Like this guy right here, is a sword and board user. There's a guy with a freaking flamethrower.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. You can do whole builds around
There's a bunch
that.
of classes.
Oh yeah. It's a very interesting and fun take on auto shooters.
I was gonna ask. I saw Lyric play this, and there was a point where, like, if too many things got on the screen, his FPS just like plummeted. Did you encounter
I
that
had
at
no
all?
issues with that.
Okay, it might have
Not a
been
single one.
a Lyric thing. I don't know if that was a bug or what. But... Cool.
I think he only has like a 4090, so it's probably related.
It probably might. Yeah, you need like a better video card than that. Yeah,
Absolutely. SLI that shit.
yeah. Gotta get 2 of them. Gotta get 2 of them. The other thing I played. 5 seconds. I played the latest and greatest game, 7 Days to Die.
Oh, didn't it just have a big new patch?
Yeah, I was playing the experimental 21 with the late shift, and that was fun. It's a weird. It's weird that that game is like 10 years in development or whatever it is, and still in early access. But we've talked about it on the stream before. I had a good time with it. Definitely a fun survival game. I couldn't tell you what the update did and what's different because I had never played it before. So I'm a bad resource for that. But it did just have a new update. I think it's 20 or 21, something like that. But it was a good time. Always a good time playing with the late shift crew, Burke and Max, Gassy Mexican, and Cream, and all those folks. So I think that's it. I think that's the show. I think we're done. I think we can wrap it up. Appreciate the two of you joining us on a Tuesday here in the middle of the week. We'll do another show Sunday, most likely. I don't see why we wouldn't. Probably be talking a lot of Final Fantasy XVI, and then cover any of the other stuff that we did not discuss today, which honestly was a lot because we spent about 90 minutes or so on industry stuff. And surely nothing will happen between now and Sunday that will be, there's nothing coming that we know of. But hey, you never know.
Ever?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what can happen between now and then? We'll see. Let's do some shout outs and we'll call it a show. Zeke, what do you got going on?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Co and JP for being my co-host on this Dropped Frames every week that we do it. My name is Ezekiel30. You can find me at or / Ezekiel_I on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also use your Prime subs on me because I still get the same split. Whee! So come and use them. Anyways, I will be live right after this because I have a promise to keep, and that promise is to the If Then drawing winner, Cerebral Onion. I will be playing their pick of the Red Strings Club shortly after this. So if you want to come and check that game out, it's a really cool dark narrative. I think it in a dystopian world. I know that's pretty vague, but I played a little bit of it. I played like an hour and change of it like a while ago when it came out. So, and it looked really cool. It was on an indie day, so you have to switch, but I'm looking forward to checking it out again. So yeah, that's what I'll be playing today. Tomorrow I will be on the twitch.tv/Xbox channel playing Lies of P on their channel, and then switching back after that to my own channel. So that's what's coming up for the next couple of days for me. Thanks for watching.
Awesome stuff. Co, what do you got going on?
Hi, my name is Co. For those that do not know me, hello. Big thanks as always to JP and Zeke. Next few days are going to be a lot more demos. We've got Final Fantasy XVI coming pretty much as soon as I can get my hands on it, whenever that is. We also have more stuff coming up this weekend, and just we're in total game mode right now, and probably tons and tons of demos, as these have been a lot of fun, and it's been great. I will be back on tonight on twitch.tv/co. Probably more demos, maybe something else, I don't know, and hope to see you there. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching.
Awesome stuff. Hi. I will not be on air after today because I just streamed for 20 days straight and I'm a little tired. But I'll be back tomorrow. We've got, I think, a sponsored stream. I think that's happening tomorrow at 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern. Let me know if you do play that tomorrow for Warhaven.
Yeah.
And Zeke as well. That'll be at, I think, oh no, I said 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for me. So that's right around when you start your night stream, Co. Yeah, just let me know. We got a bunch of stuff content-wise coming up that were all goals. We've got Daikia 4 is happening. Krindor will be doing that. A fandom episode for Warhammer 40K or Warhammer Fantasy. We're not sure, Co, if you're free. Your name got thrown around for that. We'll have a conversation. Okay. I'm sure Burke will be involved in some way. We got Community Week, which is an idea I stole from Zeke. That'll be a thing. We'll get that poll up. It'll probably be July, maybe August for all that. We got a bunch of stuff planned. Whiskey Sweet episodes. We're gonna fly Gassy Mexican and Beth up here and do a Whiskey Sweet cooking stream with them. Bunch of stuff coming up on the channel since all of those goals were met. So that's what I got going on. And then this week, Final Fantasy is probably the next thing on Thursday, I think, for me, along with everyone else. That's it. Thanks for watching Drop Frames. We will see you all Sunday for another episode. All right? We're out of here. Have a good one. Bye-bye.